somehow Air-Deraan returned.
The war has come to the Quell system, and we are a couple of podcasting boys who are here to scare off all the separatists away and bringing all the good thoughts that listening to a good podcast would do, but instead we are a bad podcast who is doing the same thing. Is this anything?
I did not see the kazoo. He produced the kazoo. The crazy kazoo wielding person is Voiter.
And the incredulous person who I just completely caught off guard is Freddy.
And we are going back to our Clone Chronicles. As Voiter said, this one yes, something to do with Quell system.
It starts in the Quell system anyway.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Jedi Crash and Defenders of Peace.
Whoa!
Probably the least important story arc in this season, but hey, it was fun.
Yeah, so let's go in. You forgot the structure.
Look, it's been a while.
You got to abide by the morals you've been taught from a young child. Even if you don't agree with them, Voiter, you've still got to uphold your moral compass. And by doing so, we are going to start with Grand Admiral thoughts. That sounded really antagonistic, but it's got to do with the episode, so it's fine.
Yeah, no hard feelings here. I know full well that violence is not the answer, even if the said violence would literally save my life.
I would rather die than stop being killed. Anyway, we're going to be talking about Grand Admiral thoughts of these two episodes.
Which is our non-spoilery thoughts on the episodes.
Then after that, we're going to be going into our Emmy-nominated Crochet Granite. Nominated for an Emmy again.
Yeah, it keeps happening. So many Emmys.
It's almost as if I forgot that we made that joke before.
It's almost like we've named literally every award that we can think of.
Yeah, I think we've gone through Razzies. We've gone through. Yeah.
I don't think we've given out a Golden Palm trees. I don't think that's real.
Yeah, we need a Golden Globe next.
The point being that Crochet Granite is the quick rundown of the plot.
Yes, the actual plot, not the quote-unquote plot. And then after that, we're going...
What do you mean?
Don't worry. Then, it's I watched so-and-so for the plot. Then, after Crochet Granite, we'll be going into Nitty Gritty.
Yeah, you can probably figure out what that is.
Yeah, that's going into the nitty gritty. If you didn't know what that is, go back to school.
Yeah. And somewhere during the nitty gritty is going to happen our brand spitting new. Well, I say new. We started it in a big oppo in episode 20 in their last episode, which is our segment called Motto Rancisis.
Well, we'll be going over the motto or moral of the story that is at the start of each and every episode. We're not going to be doing each and every episode, only the relevant ones, which are Jedi Crash and Defenders for Peace.
Yes.
Because that's what this episode is about.
Yeah. And we finish it all off with the coup de grace of our segments, which is obviously the light side and the dark. And the one in the middle, the Bendu, which is what, Freddy?
So good thing, bad thing, and one thing that's that's something. So yeah, that's what it is.
That is what it is.
That is what it is. Yeah.
You just made it sound very unimpressive, the rest of the podcast.
Yeah, it's almost as if it's just two people talking to a microphone about a show they watched.
Almost as if it was just two white guys who are we should start a podcast.
We got a good vibe.
Yeah, I feel like we have something to add to society.
I reckon people want to be a fly on the wall in this conversation about Star Wars and the Clone Wars.
I reckon we have a unique story to tell.
Yeah, well... Talking about story, not yet, because we're going into Grand Admiral thoughts. So, what did you think about this podcast? God damn it. What did you think about these 2 episodes?
How much coffee have you had?
Look, we're getting more and more unprofessional as we go.
You say that literally after we've had like a 7-minute chunk of nothing but bored. We don't do that anymore.
Yeah, instead we make 4-hour deep dives into meme lore. Instead
we talk about Boba Fett's feet.
Yeah, I low-key think that might be real. But
I low-key think that might be the best piece of content we've ever made.
Yeah, probably. But talking about content, what did you think about this content?
I thought it was alright. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
But if this is the low point of the series, like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was much, much better than I remembered and thought it was going to be. Because, like, honestly, it looks really good. The battle scenes, not to spoil back something called Clone Wars in Star Wars, it just occurred to me that it's got Wars twice in the name, which is kind of like, if you wrote that in an essay, you get like a minus point, wouldn't you?
Star Wars Clone Wars is a bit of a McClunky title.
That is. I've never sort of like thought about it that way.
Like, what else do you want to call it, though? The Clone Conflict?
That sounds terrible. TCC. But yeah, the battle scenes are really... I thought they were really good. Some, like, interesting stuff.
Yeah, it definitely had cool and inventive action.
Indeed.
I will say that. Like, it was a good arc. Just, like, not super exciting, especially after the 2 very good Jar Jar episodes that we've had.
Yeah, that we've covered.
Well, technically, we've covered them both, but you can't hear one of us because it's in the lost episode.
Whoa! Season 6 of the Clone Wars?
7.
No, 6 was the one that was lost episodes. Wasn't it?
Oh yeah, they're both lost episodes.
No, but season 6, that season is called the Lost Episodes.
Or Lost Missions.
Lost Missions, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm a big fan!
And that had Jar Jar in it.
It did. I think we talked about that in our last podcast, which is also not our last podcast because of the... I think we should very quickly just address the release order. So, I mean, because it's kind of screwed up.
Yeah, so the last point of reference is... On the 7th of March, we released our episode 17.
Yes.
Grievous Voice My Droid.
Yeah.
Then, about a week later, we recorded episode 18, which was Newt Gunray's Spunkstone.
Yeah, then the week after that, we recorded Big Oppo, which is episode 19, but we called episode 20 in the episode.
Yes, and to make up time, because we obviously are busy students and I couldn't edit anything, we made the big iceberg meme for our epic so that I can like release it immediately so that we have content.
Yeah, but that was also because Newt Gunray's Spunkstone got lost to time, so then we didn't actually have an episode 18. So we then made an episode 19 after Big Oppo, which was the iceberg. So Big Oppo can then be episode 20.
Yeah, so that we wouldn't have to go straight from episode 17 to 20.
Yeah, so now this is episode 21.
Even though it's technically episode 20?
Yeah, because there's no episode 18.
Yes.
Wait, or is it 17?
No, Grievous Voice is 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
The timeline isn't that screwed up.
Yeah, the Gunray captured arc was going to be episode 18.
Yeah.
We will have to make an episode 18 eventually.
Yeah, I think instead of doing our 100th episode, we should do episode 18.
Yeah, we should do a special about Sleaze Bagano and his astromech RU-18.
Whoa, I tried not to make that joke.
Look, we've made worse. We've already said Spunkstone like 4 times.
I mean, yeah. And does it get bleeped? I can't remember.
I don't think so.
Good.
Does.
I know another word that gets bleeped, but I'm not going to say it, but you've already said it in this episode. But I think to get back on track, we've said that we like this episode, and I think we should explain what happened in this episode.
It's that time of the day when we bloody get into our crochet granite hats and go through the entire plot.
Yeah,
Would you like to kick us off?
Crocheted hats. Okay, so basically, the Republic's losing the Clone Wars, and so Ayla Secura in the
Quell system,
not to be confused with Quill, as in Peter Quill, alluding to a conversation that we technically had 10 minutes ago, but we actually didn't.
When did we talk about Peter Quill?
But Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So it doesn't matter. So in the Quell system, Ayla Secura is getting murked by a load of separatists in atmosphere, which is pretty cool.
Well, kind of.
It's actually in like the stratosphere.
It's like in the stratosphere. It has breathable air. But the Venator is still burning up.
It's high enough to breathe air and high enough that the sky is blue, but it's still not really like deep in the atmosphere.
As we all know, space in Star Wars is a bit screwed, so who cares? Yeah, it's not Earth, so let's not constrain it by Earth rules.
Yeah, but either way, Anakin and Ahsoka then go over there to like help out Ayla Secura, who's got Commander Bly there, and they like launch LAATs to board the Venator is being boarded.
Yeah. Anakin thinks that's too slow, so he jumps out and just...
Yeah, he jumps onto a super battle droid with a jetpack.
They fly now. I think that they were just called the super droids, but that might just be a mistake.
I think that's what the droid... Why would the droid call them super droids? Super battle droids?
Because that's their name.
Yeah, but
it makes more sense than just calling them super droids.
Yeah, but like they're all battle droids. Why would they call each other battle droids? They're just droids.
They're also all droids. Should he just call them the supers?
Yeah, but that sounds like super people.
So?
I don't know. I don't mind the fact that they say super droids.
Your droid theory sucks.
Oh, damn. Thank you, Rian Johnson. But anyway, while Anakin is helping Ayla Secura, he like bloody blows up.
He got blown up on the Venator!
Yeah, while they were going to escape in the ship that was in from episode 1.
Yeah, in the... What's it called? The Diplomat? No, the Consular class.
Yeah. So they were all going to like board the Consular class in order to escape the exploding Venator. Yeah. Anakin gets blowed up and so needs to...
He needs immediate medical attention.
Indeed, which sounds a bit like Darth Vader. But... They need to dock with Admiral Yularen's ship.
But they can't because they're in a fight.
They're in a fight, but it was like, we're going to do it anyway. And then, as soon as they're docking, or they had docked, but they hadn't got the tube out. Oh no, the pilot, because the pilots always die, the pilot got killed and landed on the hyperspace button.
Yeah, they got launched somewhere.
Yeah, well, they quickly detached from the from the Venator, so they didn't take it with them.
Yeah, but they just launched wherever. Yularen was like, "We need to track them, but we will have to finish the fight before we get to them."
Yeah,
and in a couple probably minutes, turns out that the random place that they're launching off to is actually a star.
Yeah.
So they had to get out of hyperspace.
No, they got out of hyperspace by turning off all power in the ship.
Yeah, including artificial gravity, including Anakin's life support.
Which is pretty cool, I must say. And then when he came out, they were like, okay, so now we're out of hyperspace, turn the power back on so we can then get out of the way of the star.
Yeah, they almost crash into the star, and then they get messed up enough that they crash land on the planet of Maridu. Maridun.
Yeah, which is actually a planet that then was canon, but is now
double canon.
So yeah, they crashed there, and a lot of people are dead. Mm-hmm. As always, it is a kid show after all.
Yep. You can't have a kids show without a lot of death. Yeah,
so then they like set up a little camp, and then they're like, Ayla Secura is like, can't wait around for too long. Let's go look for people to help Anakin. Then Padme, Ahsoka's like, okay, I'll stay.
Freudian slip.
Ooh.
Freudian slip. Should call you Freudy.
No, please don't. Ahsoka's like, I'll stay with Anakin. And then Ayla Secura is like, no, needs of the many outweigh needs of the few, Ahsoka. And then which is...
That's not really what she says.
She says the needs of the group matter more than just one person, basically. That's not a quote. I'll find the quote eventually, but...
Well, Ayla Secura's thing, he's like, bruh, compassion is good, but don't get attached.
I know.
Even to your master.
What she said is that there's nothing more we can do for him. As a Jedi, it is your duty to do what's best for the group. Which is pretty cold, I'm not going to lie. So they leave Anakin with Rex to go look for some civilization.
Mm-hmm. They know that there are signs of it because they found like a wood carving of a tree.
Yeah, so they go to the tree and they get nutted on by a giant nut from the tree.
Yeah, they literally do.
So I'm just saying what happens in the episode.
Yeah, giant nuts fall from the tree and
they dodge them.
Only barely, though.
And then they follow the tracks of where the people had dragged them. And it's an entire village made of these giant nuts.
Yeah. And who lives in the nuts under the sea?
Oh my god, it's Lerman.
Yeah, it's just talking lemurs.
Yeah, talking lemurs. What are they doing here?
Well, they immigrated there from somewhere because they wanted to be somewhere where there is no war.
Yeah, they were like, war, what is it good for?
There's no war here unless you brought it with you.
Yeah, to quote a Powan.
Yeah, not a Unipowan. A
Powan, yeah, we made a mistake a couple episodes ago. But, yeah, I can't remember the name of the chief.
I have it written down, don't worry, I got you covered.
But he only says it in episode 2.
Yes, I mean, it doesn't matter in either of them. But his name is Tiwatka.
Tiwatka, yeah. He's the chief, and he's saying, war shit, fuck off. And so, well, no, he says that. And then it's like, my friend's dying, we need your help. And he's like, damn it! I can't say no to helping people.
Okay, fine, but you will stay here as a hostage.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, in case you're trying to just kill our only healer.
Yeah.
Why do you only have one?
And it's his son.
It is his son.
Wag 2.
Wag 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, who has
not a droid.
Not a droid. He's definitely not a droideka.
Yeah. But.
The way he moves is he rolls on the ground literally like a droideka.
He's a rolly boy.
Which no one addresses, and I'm like 80% sure that he's the only one who does it.
We'll get to it. We'll get to why he is a living hula hoop later.
Yes, indeed we will.
So Wag 2 and Ayla Secura and no, not Ayla Secura, and Ahsoka and Bly. They're going off to... Yeah. Oh yeah, all the other clones died, by the way. They got killed by vulture lions, or whatever they're called.
They're called Mastiff Phalones.
Wow.
But they literally look like vulture lions.
Yeah, they all got brutally killed.
I had them written down as Terrorbird lions. But they just look like vultures.
Yeah, they got the head of a vulture and the body of a lion. And they've got talons as well.
Not the Sith Lord.
Yeah, not the Sith Lord that George Lucas has a hard-on for, but they go to where Anakin was, and Anakin and Rex are about to be attacked by even more.
Yeah, they kill a couple of them, but Wag 2 AT-ATs one of them to the ground.
Yeah, and leaves him tied up, and he's like, killing's not the way.
We don't know what happened to it. We don't know if they mercy killed it or if they let it go.
I don't think the Lermans in this colony kill at all. I think they're all vegetarians.
Yeah, they only eat Jogan fruit.
Yeah, so they go back to the village, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll patch up Anakin using the juice from the giant... I'm going to say pod, I'm not going to say the other word that we've been referring them to. But so they heal up Anakin, and he's all better.
But...
Next episode,
What's that in the sky? Is that a Venator? Is that a Consular class frigate?
No! It's a separatist troop transport.
And who's riding on it?
Whoa.
Who's this thick boy?
It's a really thick guy called General Lock-Durd.
And from his name, who do you think he is? He's a bloody big Neimoidian boy.
He's a fat Neimoidian. And he's basically said, okay, this village is now under the protection of the separatists. So Tiwaka, thanks for being such a pushover. We're now going to look for we're going to ransack your village and look to see if you've got any means of defending yourself.
And Republic things.
Yeah, Republic contraband.
Like, literally, the Jedi in the clones were literally like 10 meters away from the droids.
Yeah, they were
hiding. Saw them.
They're hiding in the tall grass. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Which is surprisingly effective.
Yeah. So that happens, and then like the droids find nothing, and then they go away.
Yeah, but it isn't too long before the true purpose for Lock-Durd's stay here is revealed.
Yeah, oh my god. Lock-Durd wants to test this thing called a defoliator.
Defoliator charge, I think.
Yeah, and it defoliates things.
Yeah, it destroys all organic matter, but has no effect on droids.
Indeed, so...
It's like super napalm.
Yeah, and it's pretty effective.
Yeah, it actually works on like all the grass that he does, but Duke is like, you better show me that it works on creatures as well.
On living things, and then Lock-Durd is like, oh, good job, I've got a village full of people with no weapons, so I'm gonna go over there and bloody show them the defoliator.
Yeah.
And so he's on his way.
And the rest of the episode is basically all of our merry troops trying to stop him from doing this.
Yeah, so the Jedi and the Bly and Rex, they steal a ship from the Separatist base that they set up on the planet, and they steal some shield generators.
Then they make a wall out of nuts.
They do, and then when they fire the defoliator charge, missile things, they then like turn on the shield generators, so it doesn't affect the village, and then.
There's a big old fight, and Anakin, even though he's hurt, he's really cool, and Ayla and Ahsoka are also very cool.
Yeah.
And eventually, even the Lurmen, led by Wag-2, they're like, yo, old dude, like, non-violence is all good, but, like, they're gonna friggin' kill us.
Yeah, and then Tiwaka says, I'd rather die than do that. No, he said, like, if our fate is to be killed by this war we have nothing to do with, so be it. Like, to that effect, at least.
Yeah. We'll get to it, but this episode has some strange views about non-violence.
Well, I think we'll get to it, but I don't think
it's not like condemning non-violence.
It's
but
it
might be a bit like, for kids it might be a bit too complex.
No,
it's not a complex episode by any stretch, but it's for 8-year-olds.
Well, we'll get there because I think there's more to unpack with it. But so bloody all the separatist droids they die. Well, they don't die, but
Well,
or do they?
It's debatable.
Yeah, and then they put Lock-Durd under arrest.
They lock him up.
And then 3 Venators appear in the system, and the
Lurmen are sad because war has come to us.
So Wag-2 is like, oh yeah, we would have died if it wasn't for the Jedi's help, and then Tiwaka is like, yeah, I mean, I must admit we needed their help, but at what cost? And the implication is that the system is no longer neutral, is under Republic quote-unquote protection, and as we all know, they eventually turn into the Empire and oppress every planet they own.
And even before then, the planet is probably going to get overrun by Grievous's forces anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true, yeah, so...
I don't remember what canonically happens to Meriden.
Oh well, we'll get there.
Oh, will we?
Yeah, we will. So, that's basically what happens in this episode, and I think it's pretty good.
It was pretty good. Like, now that we're in...
Nitty gritty. Talk about whatever you wish.
Yeah, like, we can either take it slow or we can take it quick. There's a lot to unpack, so who cares which way we take it.
Yeah, I want to talk about Ayla Secura, because I'm not talking about her weirdly defined... midsection. I mean more like her attitude to things. So she's like telling Ahsoka like attachment ain't good. Like Ahsoka's having like serious doubts about all of this.
Yeah.
So she's like, how come we are meant to, not form attachments, but we're meant to be compassionate? This doesn't make any sense. And Ayla Secura is like, don't think about it.
Yeah, she's like, look, I had my master, I had an attachment to him, but then I got over it and everything was better.
Her master.
Quinlan Voss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense that she would have troubles getting unattached from him, because his whole thing is
do what you want.
Do whatever you want. I'm a Sith now. JK, I'm a Jedi again. But no, I pretended to be Sith before, but now I actually am the dark side.
Is that Legends?
Both.
What? Does that happen in Dark Disciple?
Yeah.
God damn it.
And the thing that brings him back from the dark side is his love for Ventress.
Whoa, that's not how the dark side works.
Sure,
that's the opposite.
Nah. He gets snapped out of his hate boner.
Yeah.
By oh no, actually there are things worth fighting for.
Yeah. No more spoilers about what happens there though, but yeah. So Ayla Secura is also saying saving one life, in reference to Anakin. There's you should put the needs of the many over the needs of the few. Saving one life is not worth losing thousands. And then Ahsoka's like, bruh, but we can still try to save him. It seems like Ayla Secura was being like, if we lose Anakin, we lose Anakin.
Yeah, we talked about Luminara Unduli.
Yeah, she's very similar.
When was that? That was in Spunkstone.
Spunkstone, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about how detached she was and how she needed Ahsoka to be maybe we shouldn't be that
detached.
That cold.
Yeah. And
apparently, it doesn't quite take with Ayala Secura that much.
Yeah, but the thing is, she's also a bit of a hypocrite because, when so when the defoliator gets tested on these two droids, Rex and Bly are hiding out in the grass, and they're like, "Oh shit, let's run away!" And so they grapple onto the tree to swing away, and Bly's one misses, and so Bly's gone die, but then Ayla Secura saves him.
I mean, there's a difference between don't save anyone and needs of the many are over needs of the few.
But why is it okay for her to save Bly, but not okay for Ahsoka wanting to be with Anakin to make sure he's okay and save him?
Because, they were... if they didn't find help, he would have died anyway.
Yeah.
And, not saving Bly wouldn't have benefited anyone.
Yeah, but Anakin could have been eaten alive by a vulture lion.
I mean, the difference is between doing nothing and doing something that doesn't help out of attachment instead of something that would help.
Yeah, but, assuming Rex isn't the badass he is. So, Rex got attacked by a vulture lion and just, not easily dispatched it, but, he took care of it.
Only barely.
Yeah, but later we see that, the entire squad of other clones... let me get their names. Cameron, Lucky,
and Flesh.
Yeah, they die gruesomely and get their corpses thrown around. Yeah. So, if Rex wasn't a badass, he would have been killed by the vulture lion, and then the vulture lion would have just eaten the incapacitated Anakin, and then it would have been shit, and then they were like, damn it, if only there was a Jedi there who volunteered to stay with Anakin to make sure he was okay. So, and then, at the end of episode of Jedi Crash, Ahsoka was like, yeah, Ayla Secura, you were right all along. I shouldn't have stayed with Anakin. I'm like, bruh, no, they would have. Ayla Secura would have been fine without Ahsoka.
Yeah, I will give you that. Like, I don't think they gave us a good reason for like why Ahsoka should have been with them.
Yeah.
She is the one who points out that they probably live near the big trees if they depict them, but they don't.
Oh my god. And like when Ahsoka says, like, she picked up the carving and it was like, wow, okay, I think they must live near big trees. And then Ayla Secura is like, very perceptive Padawan, and it sounded like so condescending. I was like, oh, you bastard.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, but like that was the only thing that she contributed, which,
She also said, like, they're dragging the pods. Let's follow where they're dragging the pods.
Yeah, who knows if Isla would have put 2 and 2 together, but like...
Yeah.
We can assume that... I guess we have to assume that she wouldn't. Otherwise, what else would be the point?
So either Ayla Secura thinks that she's dumb, or Ahsoka at the end is saying, yeah, you're dumb, and you needed me.
It almost sounds to me like Ayla Secura is like another Nadar Veb situation.
Nadar Veb.
Oh, again from Spunkstone.
From Spunkstone. So Nadar Veb is, or was Kit Fisto's Padawan, who was very quickly elevated to the rank of Jedi Knight during the war. Ayla Secura was a knight before the Clone Wars, anyway. She was in episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Nadar Veb was very overconfident.
And it cost him his life.
It did.
He got shot in the stomach by Grievous.
Yeah, not the
3 times.
Yeah.
Very graphically.
He was quite dead.
Yes, very, very dead. Kit Fisto was still smiling though. Because that's his default animation.
I think it is, yeah. But like, Ayla Secura is somewhat similar, I guess.
You can't say because we know that she was in episode 2 probably as a knight, even though I'm pretty sure that there were Padawans on Geonosis.
I'm sure they wouldn't have sent Padawans to Geonosis.
According to Wikipedia, there was at least one of them there.
I know they sent 100 Jedi to Geonosis. And like only like 15 survived.
Jesus.
So
I'm pretty sure I saw a Wikipedia article about some Padawan that dies, and it looks like he's in sand.
Oh, is he the guy with 2 lightsabers?
I don't think so.
Oh, that guy was badass.
I think it may have been the Padawan of Coleman Cadge, who we will get to.
Yeah. So, I know the guy with 2 lightsabers, he was on the LAAT that blew up.
Actually, maybe Eth Koff's Padawan. It doesn't matter. Someone's Padawan.
But, yeah. So, Ayla Secura just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of weird. And, like, out of universe, Ayla Secura is touted as, like, being more compassionate to her clone troopers. And that's, it's very conflicting, actually, now I think about it. Whether she was compassionate to her clones in the 327th Star Corps, I think it was, with Bly. Could be wrong. Either she was compassionate or she was very hard on them. Because people say that when Bly and the other troops kill her, is either a mercy killing or they wanted her to suffer.
Those are... How can you mix that up?
I don't know. But it's... I don't know which one's the actual one, but those are the 2 ways it's been talked about.
Maybe like it's described that it was like with passion, and it's like, is it like a good thing or a bad thing?
It's either, if Ayla Secura was compassionate with her clones, then it was a mercy killing, like they wanted to quickly kill her.
I understand that.
But like, I don't know, it's kind of weird.
Like, she does strike me as she is a bit of a non-traditional Jedi, like... At the beginning of Jedi Crash, like Wolf Yularen is like, oh, are all Jedi like this?
Are all Jedi this reckless?
And she's like, only the good ones.
Yeah, maybe she isn't one of the good ones.
Exactly.
Got him.
That sounded a lot like something that like Anakin would say.
Yeah.
As we know, Anakin is not quite the model Jedi.
He's not the model Jedi.
For better or worse.
But he gets stuff done.
He does get stuff done.
Because Ayla Secura lost 3 Venators in a battle where she could have just gone out of atmosphere.
Yeah. I think that she was pushed down there.
Possibly, yeah.
Like, I think that a couple episodes ago. I said couple episodes ago. It was when did the ATTEs on asteroids happen?
That was in Jewel of the Droid. No, in Downfall of the Droid.
Downfall of the Droid. Oh yeah, in Grievous voice.
Yo, that was the last episode.
Yeah,
that's
we released.
So weird.
Well, we did record 3 episodes in between them.
Yeah, so you'll be watching Big Oppo before this anyway.
Not this.
Yeah, Big Oppo comes out before.
Oh yeah,
this.
before this. What am I talking about?
But yeah,
the point was like they had like a plan then. And the reason why they were like in the atmosphere and burning up, I think they were like being pushed down
by the Separatists.
Yeah, because there is like no tactical reason to be there, like a good tactical reason to be there.
Yeah.
Because I think that like the Separatists pushed her down so that any reinforcements would have to like travel a long way out of.
But they would have to do that anyway. I think in the grand scheme of things,
if they're outside of any atmosphere, they can just jump right there. Like the Star Destroyers in Rogue One. They just get in there and kill everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas in atmosphere, they have to show up and fly over before they can do anything.
Well, yeah, because no one's gonna exit hyperspace that close to a planet, because that's. Unless you're Han Solo in Force Awakens, you're not going to take that risk. Some people have problem with that. I think it's cool. I think it's cool, but it doesn't make sense that he is not... So Han Solo exits hyperspace and he is actually level, which doesn't make sense because he should if he's flying into the planet, surely he should be facing like when he looks forward, that should be the ground, not the horizon. I thought the point was whether he was going like vertically. No, he was going to crash into a cliff. And he flies up over the cliff. I mean, maybe he just calculated to get like close to a tangent on the planet. Or maybe he was on the North Pole. I don't know. Look, if the planet is like here and you position yourself like this, like you can get like to an almost a tangent. But then you would have to be on like the far north. No, you wouldn't. You can do that literally anywhere. Yeah, but it depends what angle. You can't change the angle you're coming from. Yes, but where is the North Pole of the planet? How do you know that it's here? No, I'm saying like, is it where the thermal oscillator on Starkiller Base? Was that on the pole? I don't think so. Then unless Dakar maybe Dakar is at a lower point in the galactic plane for to exit, the trajectory of the hyperspace in order to get to that point. Hyperspace lanes, I don't think they're or level. They're probably like all over the place. Yeah, because they have to dodge things. Not all planets are on the same plane. Yeah. Even though like everyone seems to be like always the same orientation. Yeah. Which never made sense. It's kind of weird. They don't, even though in Empire Strikes Back you see Star Destroyers a different way up when they're chasing the Falcon through the asteroid field. Wasn't that because they were like he was like flying under them? Yeah, it was like making them like go everywhere. But you do see that they can also fly upside down. And I think in episode 1, on the Lucre Hulk, you can see that Naboo is like above them. Yeah, which is pretty cool. I don't think you see them oriented that way afterwards. No, but I'm assuming... It at least implies that they were upside down. Yeah, because the Trade Federation blockade is only on one side of the planet. For reasons. Yeah, because that's the way that they block the hyperspace lanes. Oh, true. So you only need to block one. Or maybe they do have things on the other side as well. Yeah. Because contrary to popular belief, you can't just go from wherever to wherever. Yeah, that's why when the Consular class ship that they were on, when that just went into hyperspace, like immediately, they were like, where are we going? Because once you're in hyperspace and you're gonna go wherever. And they didn't make any calculations, they just went into hyperspace. I mean, you can do that, but it's a really bad idea. Well, I mean, Han Solo says it in episode 4, doesn't he? So you could go through a star, and that's pretty much what they did. That's what happens here. Yeah. Which is also what hyperspace lanes are, because that's like lanes where you know that nothing is in the way. Yeah, nothing's there. Unless the Nile are pulling some bullshit. Yeah, and in Legends, possibly canon, but definitely in Legends, the Empire also created artificial hyperspace lanes by Like, in order to get a quick, it's called a pipeline in Legends from Sullust to Endor. In order to transfer a load of materials, they like basically made sure all like debris and like planets and asteroids and rogue objects in space were out of the way in order to have a quick, easy way to get to Endor.
That sounds a lot like the plot, the beginning of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, when they got rid of
to make what is it called? Like a detour or?
Yeah, no, it was an added lane to the highway, wasn't it? The space highway.
It's like what's it called when you like build a big highway that goes around the city?
Oh, a bypass.
A bypass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I find that quite funny.
Yeah.
Even though it would mean that we all die. But then we come back. Thanks, Bill Nye.
Thanks.
Even though that's in the film that everyone hates but me.
Thanks, Dolphins. Thank you, Slartibart Fast.
Yes.
That's his name. That's Bill Nye's name.
His name. Yeah. And he made Norway.
Yeah, and he got an award for it because of the fjords. It's a great book.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Star Wars.
Yeah, we were talking about Ayla Secure, I think, or about hyperspace.
Well, we were talking about hyperspace, but that still serves. It still makes sense.
Yeah, like the point is, like, you can do those weird jumps. It's just really dangerous. That's why people don't do it. Same with jumping in and out of atmosphere.
Because gravity wells pull you towards or like have an impact on how you enter hyperspace.
Yeah, like gravity wells and like interdictor cruises are one thing, but like the point why no one jumps in and out of atmosphere is that it's super dangerous. Not that it's literally impossible. Yeah. Which some people on the internet think is the case. Well, in
Legends it was technically impossible, but obviously in canon they do it a lot now. So I think it might actually be... I have like a theory, a headcanon theory, that it's not like gonna kill you, but it's actually gonna use more fuel and energy in order to break free of the gravity well.
It probably would.
Of the planet. Because I mean, like, that would do some damage, not damage, but like it's gonna take a lot of energy.
Yeah. Possibly, like, just more than you have in a fuel tank, but, you don't want to do that.
You don't want to do that all the time. Like, what's the point where you could just...
Or, like, ever.
Exit before you get to the...
Just press exit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hyperspace for you.
Yeah.
And I guess that interdictor cruises just do the same, but, like, in a more... what do you call it? Compressed.
Yeah, so they either pull you out of hyperspace and stop you from going into hyperspace as well.
Yeah.
Which they should have used more of.
I mean, they brought it back into canon in Rebels.
In Rebels, yeah, but Constantine, who piloted the interdictor cruiser Battle of Atalon, was a friggin' idiot and broke out of formation so they could leave.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get there in a few years.
In a few years, oh my god.
If we get an editor one day, we could do 2 episodes a week. We could do both Clone Wars
We're
and
only on episode 21, Voiter.
Look.
We get like 5 downloads in a week.
We less, but no, we
get
more.
And we haven't had a new subscriber to our YouTube channel for at least a month.
Look. When a bloody Bad Batch starts coming out, we're gonna be at the very top of the SEO.
Maybe.
You gotta believe.
Whoa, but talking about ranking, I just want to say, like, so Lock Derd, he was, like, doing all of this because he wanted a promotion from General.
From General to something
bigger than General. So, Genocide... Do it if you want a promotion, kids.
Yeah, he was probably like angling for what's his freaking name? Newt Gunray's position.
Whoa.
He probably wanted to be the new viceroy. By the way, it was very, very convenient that you said needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, because you know who voiced Lock Derd?
I do know who voiced Lock Derd.
It was not Leonard Nimoy.
No.
Who says that line?
It was George Takei.
A.k.a. Sulu from Star Trek, the original series.
Yeah.
Almost at Star Wars.
From Star Wars, the original series.
I mean, he is technically George Takei from Star Wars.
Thanks to this.
Lock Derd.
Yeah, Sulu canon? Question mark.
Oh my.
Yes. I do want to say... So we said we were going to talk about the Lerman's philosophy a bit more. So the Lerman, they have been living on Maradon
for not too long.
They say for a couple generations.
Yeah, they are described as immigrants in this visual dictionary.
They're from Megiddo.
Megiddo, interesting.
Yeah, which is the planet Ki-Adi-Mundi dies on in episode 3. Mm-hmm. So that's where Lerman are originally from. And so Tiwaka, he says that he is... also, that name sounds an awful lot like... I want to say a Mesoamerican name. Can't remember.
Teotihuacan?
Is it that? No,
I think that's a city.
Yeah, that's a city. I mean, Tiwaka sounds like a name, not a place name. But yeah, he says that the Lerman moved.
Where's the peninsula?
No, that's.
It's a place name.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Tenochtitlan was the capital of the Aztec Empire. I'm not talking about Aelis Kira's Tenochtitlan, but you can cut that out.
What?
Cut that out. But
Titlan, okay.
Tiwaka says that they moved to the Maradon system to escape war. Mm-hmm. But like a couple generations, how does that make sense? The war's only been going on for about 1.5 years.
We don't know how long they live. Yeah,
I was thinking that. What if their generation is very, very short?
Could be like literally 2 days.
It could be. I mean, we've only seen them for 2 days, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, it's possible that Lerman have short lifespans.
But also, like, the Clone Wars are not the only war that's happened. We've talked about Mimban in our Rookies episode.
Yeah.
Bodhi Rookies episode.
It's true.
That's what it's called.
But yeah, these Lerman, they don't like war.
They don't like any violence or conflict at all.
Tiwaka would rather die than take a life.
Even a life of a droid.
Yeah, he says forming a defense is still engaging in violence. Which, I mean, technically, yeah.
Yeah, like, it is a good philosophy. Like, you know, when you can talk about, like, Gandhi or, like, the civil rights movement where non-violence, like, did a lot of good. But when you're, like, literally in a war that's raging big and doesn't really have much to do with you, but if you don't take a side, you are, like, implicitly taking a side.
Well, no, you're not, because they were in neutral space. They weren't in either. I don't think that's what it was going for.
It is one of the aspects that we probably, like, should at least bring up.
Yeah, I thought that it was more like, so the younger generation didn't like how Tiwaka was letting them being walked over. Mm-hmm. So, like, their pacifism was actually just leading to them being worse off because they were being manipulated by the separatists.
Yeah, I guess in this case it's the difference between being non-violent and being passive.
Yeah, so it seemed... So the separatists just claimed them.
Yes.
And then we're going to just use them for weapons testing, which ain't cool, and you should probably not let that happen.
Yeah. It reminded me of that planet in Doctor Who that gets invaded like 5 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
So they evolved to be like the most subservient race to ever exist.
Yeah, but then like in the Fisher King episode... they made it so like they're like it's a sexual thing as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, do you remember that?
I forgot, but I remember.
The Undertaker was like, or maybe like you can be my dom or something like that. It was kind of a bit weird, but yeah, so Tiwaka just wanted. He didn't care if he was gonna be, if he would. He took the pacifism literally to the most extreme point. And then everyone, like Aayla Secura, Bly especially, and like Ahsoka to an extent were saying like these guys, like they have no valor or whatever, you know, they are spineless or something. What do they say?
Yes, no, yeah, they are the spineless one.
Despite no, that's
but not Ayla. Ayla Secura was like, no, Padawan.
But she said, "Oh yeah."
In fact, standing up for your beliefs like this in the face of danger, that takes true courage.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not doing a racist accent because the voice actress is white.
No, what? It was meant to be French.
I don't know what it was meant to be.
It's meant to be French. They've said it was meant to be French.
Who did?
Like people from Lucasfilm who made this.
Fair enough. It didn't sound French to me.
It sounded a little bit French, but I mean, that all Twi'leks have French accents. Like Cham Syndulla has a French accent. It's based on.
We'll see that soon enough.
Yeah, Ryloth based on French resistance. But Bly says that he doesn't know why the Lermans don't want to fight, and he says no pride, I guess. And then Ahsoka says, I call it no courage. It's like, bruh, that's a bit extreme. So I think that it's trying to say a little bit in the middle what Wag 2 was saying.
What would Bendu do?
Yeah, what would the Bendu do? So Wag 2... Wag 2... Oh, that reminds me of what Loch Durd calls the village. He says, like...
a dung heap.
Dung heap, yeah. So that's got a bit to do with what the Bendu do. So Wag 2, he didn't fight, but he defended.
Yeah.
Like, so Wag 2 led the Lerman to... Fucking hell, there's too many twos! He led...
Master Skywalker, there are two of them.
There are too many of two. What are we going to do?
Remember when the bit at the beginning of every episode was that there are too many numbers?
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I mean, considering we really fucked up the numbering system already, when there's no 18. So, yeah. But Wag 2 led the Lermans to, like, use the ropes to trip up the droids. He didn't kill any of the droids, though.
Yeah, no, they just set them up for Ahsoka to just run around and drag her lightsaber around to decapitate all of them.
Yeah, so it's like...
To just casually steal all of them.
Yeah, but they didn't want to kill them, but they wanted to defend their homes. So I think it's meant to say,
Sherlock Holmes.
do not start the war. Do not, just join it. But you got to... stand up for what you believe in and defend yourself.
Yeah, so in a way they did do both. They kept up their beliefs and defended themselves.
So it's like, defend yourself, and also if you see someone else who is being oppressed, you should defend them.
But not in a way that, politics alert, America does it. Not going in with the cavalry and be like, this is our place now because we're helping you.
Like the interventionism we talked about yesterday. Not yesterday, last podcast, which was episode...
Yes.
Yeah, the iceberg one. But I don't think it did work out in the end for the Lerman.
No.
I think...
They got kind of dicked over by everyone.
Tiwaka was right. You helped us, yeah, and we didn't die, but at what cost? Because, spoilers alert... in canon, the Lerman get enslaved under the Empire. The Lerman from Maradon, which ain't fun.
Not at all, no.
So, and that is because, as we've said, the assumption is that the Republic took over defending Maradon for the Lerman.
Well, I don't think that's what the assumption is. I'm pretty sure... I mean... You would think that's the case, but from the end of the episode, you do get the impression that bad times are coming.
Yeah, but you don't. It's not on the wiki. It's not on the Wikipedia for some reason.
It might be on the Legends page.
No, we've got a lot more to discuss with Maradon in Legends and soon when we talk about certain other Roly boys.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. This kind of felt like America going against America, if we stay in politics land.
Yeah.
This kind of felt like, Americans sweeping in with our guns and we're protecting you. But also, I'm mostly saying this partially because, a discovery that I made yesterday about, deep lore of Star Wars. This has nothing to do with our iceberg. In this case especially, the Neimoidians felt way less like the like the very obvious and racist Japan parallel that they usually are called out for, and felt a lot more like America to me,
which is
with testing out basically a combination of Agent Orange and Blue.
Yeah.
And also, as I've discovered, Newt Gunray specifically is not a pun on a ray gun, but is a pun on Reagan, as in Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
The actor and the president. Lot Dodd is a combination of two American senators. Neimoidians are not Japanese. Neimoidians are
Americans. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
Their accent's still racist, but they're not what maybe people think they are.
Well, now... But yeah, we were talking about how, like, even the Trade Federation isn't really, like, a take on, Japanese companies, but more about corporate influence in American politics.
Mm-hmm. Which was, like, happening literally while George Lucas was writing the first draft of Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
In 1994, I believe.
Yeah, so you had, like, in Phantom Menace, obviously the Trade Federation were blockading Naboo and then invaded it. And then when Padme, but it was actually Keira Knightley, brought it up in the Senate, you had Lot Dodd saying, "This is not true, you're lying." And Lot Dodd is not representing, Neimoidia, Katie Neimoidia or whatever. He's representing the Trade Federation in the Senate. So it's like the corporate influence sort of on the nose, because while in American politics, corporations have like representatives by effectively bribing representatives. But in Star Wars, they literally have a seat in the Senate. So it's just taken up to the max.
Yeah, just like lobbies, but taking out the middleman.
Yeah, so they literally have senators. Imagine that, like, and the senator for Coca-Cola voted against abortion. Senator
Jeff Bezos is here to tell you about his proposed law that will make Amazon exempt from literally any tax.
Elon Musk voted in favor of slavery.
He would.
Yeah, he would.
Same with Bezos.
Yeah. Bezos, not Jesus.
Definitely not.
Yeah, so that's like what the thing is for the Neimoidians.
I'm not sure where the like racist accents came in. Maybe George Lucas wanted it to be less obvious that he's like ragging on America, but why would he?
I think it's like, most of the time, like, you have accents for, not just villains, but for like to represent accents.
Mm-hmm.
You use real world accents, don't you? That has happened within Star Wars and in every other piece of media.
So
that
you're saying that it was just a coincidence?
For the same reason why Grievous has a Russian accent, I don't necessarily think it's malicious.
I feel like with Grievous it's more intentional than with the Trade Federation.
Because George Lucas is unequivocally not a racist.
No.
Like, he's not. I've heard people say he is, and no, he's not.
They say that about like Stephen King as well. I'm pretty sure we talked about this in the
We did, yeah. But yeah, he's not. So I don't think it was with malicious intent.
Could it be people projecting, perhaps?
And I think that's the same. It's the same. It was also made in 1999, so there's different standards for things then. I'm not saying it's necessarily better, but
like it's not necessarily not problematic.
Yeah, I think even in episode 2 they dialed it down more. It became more of its own thing.
And in in Clone Wars, rather.
Oh yeah,
just like with Watto species.
Yeah, they sort of try and remove the stereotype from it.
Yeah.
Even though Watto species still had the side beards.
Yeah.
But they made them into an honourable people.
Yeah. And in case of George Takei, like obviously he is Asian, but he doesn't have like an over the top accent.
Yeah. So, like, if someone says it's racist to lock duds Voice is racist. Well, checkmate. So yeah.
You called?
Ooh. Yeah. So.
Just to be sure, I'm not saying I think that the Lock Dirt accent is racist. I'm the checkmate.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah, I'm Vojta Checkmate Vulture.
Yeah, I think we made a lot more Czech puns. Well, more accurately, I made more Czech puns earlier on in the podcast, which is a long time ago. Not in a galaxy far, far away, but
it was like right here.
Oh my god.
Well, technically, it was like billions of kilometers away because the galaxies and planets are hurtling through space. But...
Oh yeah, that's true. Is the Star Wars galaxy coming towards us or going away from us?
I was actually just going to ask you the very same thing.
So, what do you think? Headcanon?
Headcanon is it's getting closer.
Ooh, is that why in the 25th century humans were able to go to the Star Wars galaxy in the past?
Let's not do that again.
Yeah. I've heard some people say Star Wars galaxy is Andromeda.
Why? I
think galaxy far, far away does not mean the nearest galaxy to us.
I don't care. Like, it wouldn't change anything if it was or if it wasn't.
I prefer if it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. That's where...
Literally, like, we're never gonna get to that galaxy. What difference does it make if it's that one, or one that's slightly further, or one that's even further?
I don't know, it being the Andromeda galaxy, it doesn't make sense. Just ignore it. It's, for all intents and purposes, it's in its own reality.
I mean, if we're going by the very earliest Czech translation of Far, Far Away, which was... a long time ago, 7 galaxies away.
Why 7?
Or maybe 9. Because 7 and 9 are like magic numbers that appear in like fairy tales. And they were going for like a fairy tale thing.
Fair enough. That's fine. We're still quite a way away.
Quite a way away.
Yeah, away.
Away. Speaking of, did you get the vibe when they crash land on Air-Deraan? And there's like a big sunset over like the grassy plains.
Ooh.
I was like, did they freaking crash land in the Lion King? What's going on?
Well, this part of Air-Deraan is savannah, which is kind of interesting, and it's got the big trees like you see in the savannah in like the Kenya wildlife reserves. You know, like in the
Yeah, they're similar to like the baobab trees.
Yeah, I was gonna look at what they were, but I'll figure it out.
And the Lerman, even though they come from Magito, they're obviously based on the lemurs from Madagascar.
Exactly. But Lerman existed before this, I'm pretty sure.
Where would we be able to see them?
I don't know.
Probably
I don't think
some sort of Legends
comic. I don't think we saw them, but I think we heard about them.
That happens quite a lot.
Because it's possible that
we've heard about Gundarks in episode 5.
Yeah, I think it's possible they may. Prove me wrong, but I think they may have been mentioned in the Plagueis novel, being from Magito, because Magito is pretty important.
I have not read it yet. I own it. I have it like literally like a meter behind me through the wall. Yeah, but I haven't read it yet.
But yeah, so Lerman have always been from Magito, which is kind of weird that Magito is like this crystalline planet as well.
It's an icy planet, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's icy crystalline. Like the crystalline being because they get the main Kyber crystal for the Death Star in Legends from Magito. But in canon they got it from Utapau. And who's from Utapau? You got the Powan, and I wonder if there's any immigrant species that may have any relevant to this episode.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I do, actually. Freddy is talking about a certain species called the Amani.
The Amanin. That's the plural. Singular is Amani. Plural is Amanin. And they are also roly boys.
Yeah, except instead of monkey boys, they are lizard boys.
Flat lizard boys.
Flat lizards.
They look kind of weird.
They look like the bottom of a manta.
Yeah, and they were originally appeared in Return of the Jedi.
Oh yeah. One of them is in Jabba's castle.
Indeed, I think we talked about that in one of our episodes. Hopefully not Spikestone.
No, it was ages ago.
Okay, good. But yeah,
which is probably why Lerman roll.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. I think the Lerman aren't like they don't roll on Mojito, but I think they learned the rolling from the Amanin.
Oh, that's a wrinkle I didn't think of. I thought they just had an animation ready for them, and they were just, why not use it on these?
No, the Amanin have been rolling since 2003.
I know that, yes.
Yeah, because they were in a pretty badass comic in the Star Wars Empire series. Canny is I think it was To the Last Man or something.
Oh, yeah. That might be the series that they referenced in like the monster manual that I used to have, where like a whole platoon of stormtroopers was wiped out by these primitive roly tree boys.
Yeah, well, To the Last Man, which is I recommend reading it because it's actually a really good comic. It's set on Meriden just after the Battle of Yavin, and it establishes that the Empire basically have control over Meriden. And there's miners there as well.
Oh, children.
Sorry? No, not children. But like there's a mining colony there. And the Amanin, they usually keep out of, like, it's usually fine with the Empire, but they like engage in tribal wars with each other. And they're regarded as primitive savages and stuff by the Empire, but they usually just like stay out of their business, and the Amanin stay out of the Empire's business until
a war was brought to them.
Well, no, it's because the mining colony was over a sacred boundary. The mining colony got slaughtered, and then the Empire sent like a couple of juggernauts and an ATTE and a load of stormtroopers to investigate. And then they also crossed the boundary, and then
with stormtroopers and an ATTE.
Yeah, this is from 2003, and they used the Empire had an ATTE, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So they went to investigate, and then they got attacked by the Amanin too, and like it's a whole big thing. It's heavily based on the film Zulu, and also inspired by the Battle of Rorke's Drift, which Zulu is about. And at the end, like at the end of Zulu, the Amanin didn't just kill all of the Imperials. After like the stormtroopers and that showed that they put up a very good defense, and almost to the last man they kept on fighting. And then the Amanin chief is like, okay, you fought pretty well. He speaks this in basic. He's like, you fought pretty well. You've proved yourself worthy. We'll leave in peace. And then they just like buggered off, and they had like a treaty signed, and it turns out that the Amanin, that tribe, made a deal with the Empire that everyone that they capture in their tribal wars, they will sell as slaves to the Empire.
Yikes.
Yeah, so not only it's a bit spicy.
But it does sound pretty badass.
It's a pretty good comic because it's a cool slice of life for the life of an Imperial, and the main character is actually a childhood friend of Luke Skywalker.
Is it Biggs?
It's not Biggs. His surname's Sunbur. I don't know I can't remember his first name, but apparently he is a character introduced in I think
the deleted scene of episode 4, maybe? Possibly,
or in the script as one of Luke's former friends.
I mean, there is a scene where a deleted scene from episode 4 where Luke does hang out with his friends, and I think they call him Wormy.
God, poor Luke.
Yeah,
that was at Anchorhead, wasn't it?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I felt bad for Luke because he would get bullied by his friends. So it's like, oh, they're my friends.
Don't we all get bullied by our friends?
Oof. Anyway, fuckhead, what else have you got to say about this episode?
Okay, Freddy, I'll tell you everything. Here's my lunch money.
Yeah, and now don't fight back, because that is not the way you were raised.
Yeah. Knee braised.
Oh, but speaking of, were there knee braids in this episode?
I think that's just Wikipedia being weird.
Does Wikipedia say they were knee braced? Okay.
Yes.
So that is good news. Because I think there's different subspecies of knee brace.
There definitely are, but continue.
So like the knee brace we see in Jedi Crash, they look more like butterflies, I thought.
Well, there are also butterflies that are also in the Wikipedia.
Wait a minute. So have they got butterfly Nibres as the same thing?
They weren't called butterfly Nibres.
Well, no, I mean they conflated them. That's what I mean, as different things rather than as the same thing.
Maybe. I think the editors just couldn't decide whether or not they are butterflies or Nibres.
That's a shame, because I would have liked it if it was Nibres.
Yeah, because
they look kind of like Nibres though.
Yeah, when I first saw them, I was like, are they Nibres?
Headcanon, they're a subspecies of Nibre.
Headcanon, they are both Nibre and moths.
I think they're moth. You know, like how there's giant Nibre mantas. These are Nibre moths.
Yeah. Small, like in the ambush, but they look a bit different.
Yeah, they've got big old butterfly moth wings. Yeah, so
like Mothra, but small.
Mothra, but less moth looking. Could a Nibre beat Godzilla?
No.
It couldn't.
King Neeb could, but not just a Nibre.
Okay, yeah, but how about a King Neeb?
Are you asking because Star Wars Explained just released Godzilla vs.
Well, it was actually by the Templin Institute.
It was by the Templin Institute, but it was released on Star Wars Explained, and it had a part of his entrance theme.
Yeah, and I actually disagree with Mark from the Templin Institute. I'd say the Zillo Beast, like that, he disregarded intelligence and wisdom as like, bruh.
I don't think that Zillo Beast was smart, like significantly smart.
We'll get there. We'll get
Eventually.
there, but he definitely thought. Like, there's a point in the second Zillo Beast episode when he's like thinking, and they're like, "Oh shit."
I mean, Godzilla does that too.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it's like more so.
Fair enough.
I don't know, but
look. I don't agree with literally 100% of the things he said, but I do agree with the result.
Yeah, I don't deny that the Godzilla has more power. If that makes sense, you know.
Yeah, it's both more powerful and more durable.
Yeah, Durasteel.
Ooh,
yeah.
Permacrete.
Yes.
Which I think is a real thing.
Yeah, well, you were saying you were digging through Permacrete all summer.
Yeah.
So that's
for a quite
fun.
significant chunk of the summer.
Fun.
In the sun.
Yeah, it was very bloody hot. Like?
No, actually, it was all the winter.
Oh. Was it Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, I got it wrong. Damn.
It was snowing.
Oof.
So it couldn't have been the summer.
Yeah.
Unless I was in Australia, which I don't think I was.
Cool.
Point being, what are we talking about? The Nibre?
Well, we're talking about Star Wars.
Did you mention the Amani because they're also Roly boys from Utapau? Or
no, they immigrated to Utapau.
Yeah, but did you? And they were in the Crystal Crisis.
Indeed.
But
lots of links there.
Yeah, but did you know that they were actually supposed to be in this episode instead
were
of the
they?
Lerman? Yeah.
Instead of the Lerman.
Well, the Lerman replaced them for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that they roll, not because of like the in-universe reason, but because they're like, we're gonna have small people that roll. Let's just keep that.
I think they got rid of the Amani because they're fucking scary looking. And imagine and also in what was established lore at that point in To the Last Man, the Amanin they do like war.
Yeah.
They like killing each other. Even though they didn't kill the Empire and stuff, but they do like killing each other, so they definitely would not be opposed to killing.
I'm guessing for a bit they
droids.
considered changing the canon, but then decided against it.
Yeah, because I mean the only other Amanin you see is the one in Jabba's palace, and he's got a huge off spear.
And he doesn't do anything.
And I think he's got a skull around his neck. I could be wrong.
I think you're not wrong.
Yeah, so it's hard to say, oh yeah, the Amanin are pacifists.
Yeah, well, they could mostly be except for that one.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like most Toydarians don't sound racist except for Watto.
Yeah, because Watto is a slaver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like how you can add a lore reason for why WAG 2 rolled though.
Yeah, that is cool. Like, when you were watching it, did you notice anyone else rolling?
No.
So it was literally just him.
Yeah, that's why I think it's more something they learn than something they innately do.
Yeah, probably.
Because if they innately did it, you would probably see more Roland. But Wag 2, he seemed like a learned guy.
Yeah, he was the healer, the
He
shaman,
was.
if you will.
Yeah, using that pod juice to heal people.
Yeah, pod juice. That's
Wow.
our first merch.
Yeah, podcasting juice.
Yeah, on Air-Deraan flavored with Kool-Aid.
God damn. What would the flavour be?
Sweat.
Ah! Is that a thing? I feel like I'm getting a flashback to some sort of...
Sweat flavored drinks.
Yeah.
There might be like, the Harry Potter jelly beans.
Oh, yeah.
One of them might be sweat flavored. But that feels like too vanilla. Speaking of flavors.
Oof. What if you could have Jogan fruit flavoured?
Oh, I would.
Which we see.
I want to know what Jogan fruit tastes like, because like everyone eats it.
Yeah, you just don't even wash it. You don't peel it. You just go.
Yeah.
You just chomp into it like Blyden in this episode.
Yeah, and as we discussed literally before we start, or was it during?
I can't even remember.
Like, if you Google Jogan fruit, anytime you see a picture with someone holding the Jogan fruit, they look happier than any time else.
Yeah, you got happy Zeb.
Zeb. The Rodian who looks like he just got into heaven and when he's holding the Jogan fruit.
Yeah, so...
He looks so cute. Is he the same Rodian who then wears the low bottom?
No, that's Zebo.
Max Zebo.
Ooh, is that his first name, Max?
I'm talking about Max Rebo.
Oh, yeah. With his famous hit.
Elephant Boy.
Yeah, no, his famous hit on his greatest hits album, I'm Not a Blue Elephant. It's not easy being blue. I'm still not an elephant.
But unironically, his hit song Jedi Rocks, which I unironically like.
I unironically don't like that. I prefer the one that's in the theatrical movie.
I grew up on the special editions.
I did not.
And I'm not looking back.
Yeah.
I'm not looking back.
Wahoo! Not a clone.
I'm not Sebayothing back.
Yeah.
Was it Jarul?
Jarus Sabaoth.
Jaru.
Jarus.
Yeah,
because there's
not Jarul.
No. There was Jorus Sabaoth who was in Outbound Flight. Who cloned him? I don't even know.
I don't know either.
God, I don't even care.
I read some of the first book and listened to the rest of it, and I didn't bother with the rest of them because they're kind of overrated. Hot take.
I like the bits with Thrawn, but I don't like the bits with Jorus Sabaoth.
What about the bits with Force meditation or battle meditation?
I don't like the idea of battle meditation. I think it's kind of dumb. Like how in Legends, the Empire was doing well because there was this guy called Grand Admiral Nile, who was actually secret. He was Force sensitive, and he was doing battle meditation alongside Palpatine in the Battle of Endor in order to make the Empire good. And then when both of them died, that's why the Imperial fleet went to shit and then lost. And I'm just like, bruh, all of these people are sentient people. They can do their own thing. You don't need battle meditation to explain why after the Death Star blows up, they might be a bit apprehensive to fight to the last man.
Yeah, in this case, I agree with you. I don't mind the idea of battle meditation. It just makes you just that tiny bit more synchronized and motivated.
But you don't need it.
I don't need it.
Yeah.
It's weird that it's the thing that can win you wars.
Yeah, I just don't really agree with it.
Because wasn't in KOTOR, wasn't the thing that won the Republic the Mandalorian War was because they had battle meditation?
Yes. And that's what's... it was first seen as well in the Great Hyperspace War when Naga Sadao did battle meditation.
I don't think it was him who did it first. There was this blue boy who read it in a book.
Oh, he might... Yeah.
So someone had to do it before him.
Was that Marco Ragnos?
I'm not sure. It was this blue fish boy who was the apprentice of a big brain crystal.
Are you sure that was before Naga Sadao? Naga Sadao was one of the earliest things there is in Star Wars Legends.
I'm pretty sure there was the chronologically first comic.
Oh, is it the blue boys
Well, other than Force Storm
like
and
the
stuff.
ones that are called like something that's 3 letters long.
I'm not sure, but I could look it up right now because no, it's not on there, but it's like on my hard drive in the comics that I gave you.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like the origin of the Jedi, isn't it?
So
I know the blue boys.
it's not the Jedi stuff, but it's like the very early stuff.
I think I know the blue boys you mean.
You know, like that comic that has like the guy who kind of looks like Jabba lying on his back, in a hat.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
That's the Tales of the Jedi. That's that comic is the start of the Great Hyperspace War.
Is the Great Hyperspace War after Naga Sadow?
No, Naga Sadow started the Great Hyperspace War.
So it happened kind of concurrently then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
and the fish boy read it in a book or like a scroll. Or something.
Okay.
So it couldn't have been Naga Sadow's invention.
Well, I know that he does it. I wasn't saying it's his invention, but I know he does it. And
maybe he learns it from the fish boy.
Yeah, maybe. And when his like battle meditation pod, gets shot out and like he drifts off into space, that's like he loses the battle in Legends at least. It's kind of interesting.
Is that how he drifts to Yavin 4?
No, I think
Air-Deraan, or whichever he is.
Naga Sadow goes to Yavin 4 with the Massassi, doesn't he? He goes.
I don't think they're the Massassi yet, but they like mutate into the Massassi.
No, the Massassi are a sub-race
of the Sith.
Of Sith, yeah.
But they're not cool. If you like Google Massassi, they're kind of fucked up. They weren't that just yet.
No, they become more fucked up because they after like Massassi were like a warrior caste of the Sith, and they did look like really crazy. But then like when they stayed on Yavin, they became more crazy and
because
more fucked up.
inbreeding and dark forces.
Dark Force from Exar Kun's stasis place, and Exar Kun I think killed them all.
You mean Naga Sadow?
No, Naga Sadow put himself into stasis.
So where does Exar Kun's stasis pod come in?
He doesn't go. He dies, doesn't he?
You just said Exar Kun's stasis pod.
Exar Kun goes to Yavin 4 and kills the Massassi, and then awakens Naga Sadow, right?
And gets possessed by him.
Yeah,
and
something like
dies
that.
as well.
Yeah.
And Oleg killed everyone. I feel like we talked about that on the iceberg.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless that was just in the kitchen.
I honestly...
we talk about Star Wars too much.
What is life but podcast?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Literally, my life is just this.
Also, about those pods, they look a lot like the Killik pods from Legends, which are the ones from Air-Deraan.
I almost had a heart attack just then.
Yeah. And that's what the Jedi Temple on Lothal is inspired by.
It sure is. I have a feeling that they might still be called Killik pods.
Really?
I am not too sure, but I will look it up because it's like right here. They are called... Dun dun dun... Lerman Seed House, never mind.
Seed House. That sounds worse than Nut House.
It means Nut House.
Yeah, it still means Nut House.
It means the same thing.
God. Oh yeah, it sounds a lot better saying that Wag 2 healed Anakin with seed juice.
More like Wank 2.
Anyway, back to our highbrow podcast.
Yeah, let's talk about Alice Sakura's midsection and the Legends bloody page.
No, we're not talking about that Legends page. But yeah, you were saying how it's weirdly detailed. I mean, I personally was not looking.
Fair enough. Like,
I was focused on like the cool battle scenes.
I was focusing on the cool battle scenes too. Like, for example, Anakin's very own hallway fight against the bigger droids.
Yeah, it was very cool actually.
Anakin's and Ahsoka's.
Yeah. Ooh, this episode is also the first appearance of the tactical droid.
Indeed, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Also voiced by Grievous's voice actor.
Yeah, because Matthew Wood voices all the droids.
Yeah.
All the my droids.
Yeah, the tactical droid is the guy who calls the super battle droids the super droids.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that.
I think it's because they're all battle droids, so it's like super droids.
But they're also all droids.
That's why, yeah, but...
If you're going to discount one, why not both?
Because you were called, like... Let's say there's multiple Superman. You say Superman. You will go super. Because I'm a human.
But that's what you're saying!
Yeah, so Superman. And he's saying super droids.
But no. Whatever.
I don't know. Like, if I don't know.
I wonder why they did this. Did they like want to?
Why
Why they brought in the tactical droids?
Because they needed like.
They could have just made it like Neimoidians or Aqualish, because Aqualish show up again in this episode as like the technicians.
I think they just wanted more droid hierarchy for things.
Maybe.
Also, that Aqualish model is the same one that was in Duel of the Droids.
Indeed. And we'll see him again.
Will we see him again?
I think so.
God damn.
We also saw him in Zero's base in Clone Wars the movie.
Really? That same Aqualish model?
Yeah.
I really love it, don't I? He's got a little hat.
He does.
Yeah. And he relayed Lockdar's commands in his imperceptible language.
Imperceptible.
That's wrong. That's the wrong word.
Unintelligible.
Unintelligible language. Yeah, imperceptible. I can't see his words.
Where are the subtitles? They're so small.
Why aren't people talking in speech bubbles in Clone Wars? Plot hole.
Why are the subtitles saying speaks alien?
It says speaks native language, actually.
Oh, that's at least better, I guess.
Yeah. Like speaks frog. The frog lady.
That's canon. That's in the Disney Plus subtitles.
Exactly. But like, I also want to mention in the battle in the atmosphere and the quell system, the clouds. Oh, it's like a painting. I love it.
Yeah, they were just gorgeous. Like that whole sequence, like against the bright blue sky, so much light everywhere. The like backlighting that comes from the Venator being on fire.
Yeah.
It's like
and crashing into atmosphere.
Yeah. I don't know if this is true, but I feel like at least stills from this set piece are like used for like a fair amount of like publicity for Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, a lot. So of the Venators, of the 2 destroyed Venators and the 3rd Venator like crashing, that's used a lot. And another frame in Defenders of Peace when, you know, Aayla Secura, Ahsoka and Anakin are about to like face off all the droids behind the shield generator and that.
Yeah.
That's used a lot.
Like, it's pretty deservedly. Like, this pair of episodes, like, might not be my favorite and might not be best looking at all times, but it does have some of the best looking stuff.
Yeah, it looks... Because most of the best looking things we've seen before this have been in space.
Yeah. This is like probably the most sky that we've seen like ever.
Oh yeah, because it was entirely sky.
Yeah, basically like 80% of this thing took place like outdoors on a planet.
Yeah.
Whereas most of the episodes are either in space or
in a corridor.
Oh
yeah, so.
Although like on the planet on Meridon, I felt like sometimes like the skies were a little bit weird. Like sometimes where there weren't even any clouds, it still felt like. You know, like when you have hot milk.
No.
And like film forms on top of the hot milk.
No, but
you never drank like warm milk or hot chocolate?
I've drank hot chocolate.
Yeah, when the milk gets too hot, like stuff forms.
You mean
on
like the
top
bubbles?
No.
No.
There's like a thick film that you can like slurp up.
No, I genuinely I know what you mean, but I don't know what it actually is. Like I've only. Know about it secondhand.
It's because the protein gets too hot, it starts congealing.
Yeah, but I thought the skies were fine. I thought it was like meant to be hazy because it's savannah. Yeah, what?
Big hazy.
Oh yeah, soon to be. In Nomad Droids.
It's not soon to be.
Only 5 years to go.
5 years remaining. What am I even referencing? I don't know.
No, it's like.
Is that
Counter-Strike?
Oh, 5 minutes remaining. Is that Counter-Strike?
I
feel like that's Counter-Strike.
Oh, well, the Counter-Strike announcement guy sounds like he's talking into a shitty microphone.
It probably was.
It's like, terrorists win.
Counter-terrorists win.
Yeah, because it was like probably recorded in 2003 on one of the devs' microphones.
They had good microphones in 2003.
No, but that's what I thought. It might have been an inbuilt microphone.
Maybe. Kind of like our episode 10. Or whichever one it was. Yeah, it was 10.
That was the one where you recorded on your microphone.
Yeah, it was faking Mark Hamill's face.
Yeah. Dab, 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 dab. You couldn't see me dab, but rest assured I did.
Yeah. We don't say dab unless we do.
Yeah, that's the rules.
Yes. But like speaking of like the visuals and stuff, was it just me or did bloody Jedi Crash have a lot of Dutch angles again?
I didn't notice, and if you can't notice Dutch angles, that's
well made.
That's good use of Dutch angles.
I feel like they were, but the point is like why I'm bringing up like direction and stuff.
Oh ho ho!
Is because again after yesterday's big deep dive into Wikipedia and names and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's start with the director. It was directed by a certain Robert Coleman.
Yeah. Do you recognize that name?
Specifically Coleman.
Yeah. Because it is the Lord and Savior. Well, not quite, but he did die for our sins.
He did die.
For sins.
He died and fell.
Yeah.
And he sinned probably a lot because Dinosaur Face himself, Coleman Trebor.
Yeah, Coleman Trebor himself is named after Robert Coleman.
Yeah. Trebor, obviously, Robert backwards. I say obviously.
Yeah.
I only figured out yesterday.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
And does this guy have a son?
He does. His name is Jack Trebor. Jack
Coleman. Jack Coleman. Which you may recognise the reference to, because you said it earlier this episode.
Yeah, because of Coleman Cadge, who is on the Jedi Council in episode 3.
That's the guy with the weird head and the eyes on the side of his head, right?
Indeed, that's him.
Yeah.
He's like the Vree or Vroom?
Yeah.
It's not Vroom.
The Vroom.
Jedi Gol Vroom.
Yes.
Did you say Gaul? What did I say?
God. It's kind of weird that they have the same first name in canon, though.
Oh well, like lots of people can have the same
no,
first
but
name.
I know it's normal in real life, but you don't see it often in fictional properties. You know, like if someone has, the same first name or the same last name, it's like plot hole, they're not related.
Well, like all the Antilles.
Oh
Star
yeah,
Wars.
like we mentioned.
Like Fake Wedge, he's not one of them.
We mentioned Spunkstone. Why is everything important mentioned in the one episode that didn't get released? Okay, so we mentioned in that episode that an Antilles ran against Palpatine after the vote of no confidence against Chancellor Valorum in episode 1. Unrelated to Wedge Antilles, who in turn is unrelated to Raymond Antilles, who is in,
it was like
the
captain of Tantive 4.
Yeah, well, you got to spice it up with the same Tantive.
I could call it a Tantive 4.
Oh, Tantiva.
Like, what's Boba Fett's name?
Bango.
No, his real name.
Tamara Morrison.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Tamgo Mango.
Tamgo Mango.
Not Mango.
Tamgo Mango. Oh, God.
Yeah, it would be Mango. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, God. Well, what's Din Djarin's Mandalorian name?
Dango.
Dango.
It's easy to forget that Djarin is spelled with a D.
Yeah, that's true. It's a bit jarring.
Indeed.
But anyway, that was not the sound of me slapping Voiter. That was my...
No, it was the sound of me slapping Freddy.
Yeah, obviously.
For that pun.
Yeah. Coleman Trebor is related to this.
Also, the director directed, I think this is his second to last episode of season 1 of Clone Wars that he directs. He directed a couple before this.
He directed the most 2000s episode of Clone Wars ever created.
Downfall of a Droid.
Which still astounds me. I listened to the soundtrack the other day.
It's so cool.
I was like, this is Star Wars?
This episode also had a lot of cool sounds.
Yeah, I like
tribal, like flutes and drums.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do think that the Lerman, like the the Amish of Star Wars, though, aren't they? You know, like screw technology. Let's live off the basics. Because like, do you remember like what the cities look like on Magito?
Well, not like nuts.
Yeah, they're not big nuts. Like the cities you see on Magito are like the big bridge that Kiadimundi was fighting on.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty sophisticated.
They look loads more sophisticated.
God damn it. Yeah. Whereas the Lerman, they're content with living like they do with no technology. But they didn't choose specifically. They didn't choose to live under the trees because they'll get nutted too often.
You're taking it too far.
I am taking it too far. But that is seriously what, like they didn't want to live under the trees.
Yeah.
Because the nuts kept falling down.
Yeah, like literally they basically get jumped by the nuts.
They do. And Ahsoka's like, no wonder they don't want to live under these nuts.
This one got me. That one actually got me.
Fuck's sake. It's not even funny. It's just, they're just like actual, like big walnuts.
Yeah.
They're not like, it's not anything actually smart. Oh my god. Art is dead.
It's basically not even a joke.
Yeah.
But who is a joke?
Whoa, King Julian, Chief Wati.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually had a segue there. I just said it to see if you would pick up on it.
Oh no, I said Watiki, I mean Tiwaka. God, am I now a Lerman racist?
Apparently so.
God damn. I did want to say that Tiwaka was like, this Clone War is fucking stupid. Like, hence the Defenders... Wait. The Defenders of Peace.
Yes.
Yeah, hence that. So, like, Aayla Secura was like, bruh, we Jedi, we didn't bring the war to you. We're the Defenders of Peace. And then Tiwaka is like, bruh, Jedi are no peacekeepers. You got bloody lightsaber on your belt.
Yeah.
That's a weapon. So you're no peacekeepers. And then like Ahsoka was like, bruh, we didn't start the fire. The song.
Don't.
You just got Ronald Reagan in there, does it? I can't remember.
Probably.
Linking to
Park.
New Gun Ray. Oh, Transformers 2007.
Ray Park.
Whoa. But yeah. So Ahsoka was saying we didn't start the war, and then Tiwaka was like, it doesn't friggin' matter. And it's like, you're still fighting in it. And then Aayla Secura is like, we're fighting for freedom and justice in our republic. And then Tiwaka says something that I think pretty point. Freedom and justice does freedom and justice require fear and death? And I wrote, mate, this chief is a legend for like talking to the Jedi like this, because they really need someone to say this to their face.
Yeah. One could argue that like all of these experiences are what led to Ahsoka being like basically what Luke was supposed to be, but like 30 years earlier.
Yeah, it's like Ahsoka had the option to go back to the Jedi, and it's like, nah, I'm good.
Y'all kind of suck.
Yeah, and
like you thought that bloody almost said Cobb Vanth. You all thought that the fish boy from the Lair of Grievous. What's his name?
Vadar Neb. No, it's not.
No.
Nadar Veb.
Vadar Neb.
Nadar
Neb.
Who?
Y'all thought that Nadar Veb was a pushover. Like, nah. Like, you guys are the ones that suck.
Yeah.
Sorry, Yoda. I'll throw that in your face.
Nadar Veb is not an exception. You're all Nadar Veb. When will you learn? When will you learn that your actions have consequences?
I'll have to mute this as well, as in addition to the kazoo sound.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, so, and it all stemmed with being told off by a bloody bearded lemur.
Yeah. See, a wise man named Dave Filoni once said, I don't believe in filler episodes. Even stuff that feels like filler will actually have payoff eventually.
Yeah, it does.
And while this was 100% not the intended thing.
Oh, probably not, no.
100% that was not the intended thing. In my headcanon, it was this boy. It was Lee Watka?
Tiwaka.
Tiwatka.
Tiwaka. There's only like T-E-E.
It's 3 words.
Wa-A-A.
It's 3 words.
Yeah.
Tiwatka.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't disagreeing. I was saying how it is spelled.
He's the one that bloody set her on the path to bloody becoming the Jedi.
Yeah.
The titular Jedi.
What will you become? What?
Nut.
Yeah.
What will you be not?
Talking about that kind of thing, I kind of want to. You can cut this joke out, honestly.
Yeah, well.
What do you think was the money shot of this episode?
Oh, God. That's a good question, though, actually, because this I'm not sure about shot, but like the best set piece.
Yeah, that's sort of what I meant.
Because it had at least 3, in my opinion, and we can't have all 3 of them for our light side, I think.
Yeah, so just
so
talk
if we
about...
decide on one of them here, and then we can pick.
Yeah, we can go. Yeah.
So we had the stuff with the burning up Venator, Star Destroyer. We had burning up in the sun. Yeah. Destroyer. That was a Star Destroyer.
They're not Star Destroyers because they're cruisers. They've got a focus on starfighters, holding starfighters.
And also, like in that bit I'm talking about, that was a frigate, I think.
Yeah. The Consular class.
Yeah.
I said cruisers, I meant carriers, but yeah, carry on.
Fair enough. And the third one I thought was actually 4 maybe. The infiltration of the droid base.
That 4. I really love how they like have these makeshift forts that they set up. Like the Republic have them too.
I don't remember the Republic.
We see them later this season.
On Ryloth?
No, on Christophsis in the prequel episode.
Oh, cool. I think I know which one you're talking about. But point being, they have to store them in the dropships, right? But where do they have the space?
Yeah, that's the thing. So in Clone Wars, they massively scaled down the troop transports, even though like you see the troop transports like unloading like 3 ATEs. No, what are they called?
ATTEs?
No.
AAT?
AATs, yeah. See them unloading like loads of AATs. You're like, where do they come from? Whereas in Phantom Menace, if you guys remember, they're huge. They like squish entire forests.
Yeah. They scale them down, but don't scale down the amount of stuff that's in them.
Yeah, like, which is kind of funny.
Like, look at Rookies. Like, there's only one of them that lands on the Rishi Moon. And there are so many things in it. Like, so many droidekas, so many battle droids, so many no super battle droids, I don't think. But so many things.
That was a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
It was very cool. It is, like, rightfully, like, one of my favorite episodes of Clone Wars. Yeah. Even though there's still so much good stuff ahead of us.
But, as we said, like, scale is off for those troop for that transport.
Like, you can only get away with the word stylization. You can only get away with so much.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why didn't they just make it bigger?
Then you also have to make like bigger sets, bigger landing pads.
Well, maybe you don't have to make bigger sets, but maybe they just worried that the textures, they would have to do too much texturing.
That's quite possible.
Because that is a big thing in a lot of these. That's the main reason why you see a lot of reused assets in Clone Wars. It's not because necessarily of modelling, it's mostly because they would have to retexture things, or, you know.
Yeah.
So, which they have the time for later on, but not early on.
Even later on they do that. Like when you see like a flashback, I won't give context for this, but when you see like a much younger Plo Koon,
oh yeah,
he has the same model that they use for him during the Clone Wars, even though he like literally can't have that because he's wearing like
the gauntlets
and stuff.
Yeah, which doesn't make any sense.
But they just give them like a cloth texture.
Yeah, but that's because of time and money, not things that people have. Yeah, I mean,
But
thanks,
we
Elon
should
Musk.
probably go back to and Jeff Bezos. We should probably go back to like the fort infiltration.
Yeah. Mate,
Because
that
was
cool
low-key
scene.
my favorite part of that.
Yeah.
It was my favorite part of
Defenders of Peace. Yeah, that definitely. Because I thought, Defenders of Peace is like a weaker episode to Jedi Crash. Jedi Crash has a lot in it, but Defenders of Peace still had some cool moments.
Yeah, Defenders of Peace is like more action-y.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, no. I think there's... Actually,
you're right.
There's a lot that happens in these episodes. Like, in my notes, and also to summarize the plot in Crochet Granite, it actually took a while.
Yeah, this is my longest notes. Like, until now, my longest were 420. This is like 530.
It's not necessarily because of, secret lore details you might not notice unless you're a Chad Star Wars fan. It's like just the actual, like, plot. There's more to it than usual.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of neat stuff. Slick stuff. Cool stuff.
Slick, that would be a reference to a later episode. You'll find out later.
I don't remember who it is.
Yeah, you'll find out later. Sorry. But yes, the fort.
They had like crab droids not crab droids, spider droids.
Did they?
Which one? Like the smaller one with like the gun nose.
That is, I think, a spider droid, but not the small spider droid.
Yeah, the small spider droid. I don't think it does anything, but it's there.
That's cool. And they just have shield generators there, which actually makes sense for a base.
Yeah.
To have shield generators.
It really does. They don't ever like use they use them in the movie, but like, they don't use them too much.
But they would use them for bases.
Yeah,
you imagine.
Yeah. I don't think we see like this kind of base too much.
Well, I mean, how many times are we in a position where we would see this kind of thing? Because this appears to be like a small separatist force goes to this random planet in neutral space to genocide the populace.
They make like a small forward operating base. Like
yeah.
Usually they take over like a city or they just have tanks.
And then garrison that.
Yeah, so they don't need to like do like it's like a little Roman camp.
Yeah, exactly. Which, like I said, like both the Republic and the droids, like the Romans, can like quickly put up these things.
Mm-hmm.
To quote, we were talking about Dan Carlin not long ago, but to quote Dan Carlin, like Romans were half soldiers and half construction workers, and it seems that these droids and seems clones as well like would do the same thing by assembling these forward operating bases and barracks and garrison things.
And like the way they like infiltrated, it was really cool. Like they split into two groups.
Yeah.
Like Anakin did like lots of tricks and misdirection with rocks.
Yeah, like so he forced a rock to be bouncing in a way that isn't possible, and it confused the droids, and then he like killed them.
Yeah, well, he was like literally hiding behind a patch of grass.
Yeah, grass.
You can see him like in the corner of the screen. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, that grass. I swear, everyone, you can't see through it.
Yeah, that's why you're never meant to go into the tall grass.
Cool.
If there's Pokemon in it, you're lucky.
Yeah.
Most of the time, it's Mastiff. What is it called? Mastiff Phalones.
Yeah, the Vulture Lions.
Yeah. Oh, or even worse, Jedi.
Oh, Jedi Poodoo.
From my point of view, the Mastiffs are evil. Not to be confused with Mastiffs, which are like the dog boys that Tusken use.
Bull Mastiffs, which are actual dogs.
Or
Bull Mastiffs, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, these are Mastiffs, but the ones that the Tusken have are Mastiffs.
Yeah, which is a play on Mastiff, which is a dog.
And they're very cute in Mando.
Anakin kills a load in episode 2.
He sure does. They are literally animals.
Oh,
and I slaughtered them like literally animals.
Yeah, he did kill the men and the women and children too.
Yeah, and animals.
That guy is f***ed up.
Speaking of like Anakin in episode 2, like a lot of times when they talk about Anakin, like people talk about movie Anakin, how he's never like shown to be cool, how he's always whiny. I feel like we say that they fix Anakin in Clone Wars, but it almost feels like they go too far the other way.
Yeah,
he doesn't feel like the same person he doesn't. He feels like he lacks all that like whininess.
Yeah. Well, we haven't got to the Clovis parts when he actually becomes very clingy.
That is fair. He can be like a little petulant, but he just feels.
I mean,
that to be fair, like he feels more like the episode 3 Anakin, who is a bit of both.
yeah. Well, we've said before how. Well, I think especially that this takes place like the Clone Wars TV show and movie takes place about a year into the Clone Wars.
Yeah, so he would have grown up a little bit.
Yeah, so like the Gendy Tartakovsky season 1 would be when he was a bit more whiny.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen a bunch of stills, and in most of them, he has like a sad puppy face.
Yeah, when he's short-haired Padawan Anakin, he is a lot whinier and like episode 2 Anakin. Whereas when he's got the long hair, he's more like episode 3 Anakin, as obviously it would
he's
suggest.
Like, but Master Oppo Rancis, why don't you want me to be a Jedi Knight?
Yeah.
Which does happen. Oppo Rancis is there.
Yeah, he is.
I need to watch it just for Oppo.
Yeah, I watched Star Wars, like a clip thing of Star Wars, but it's just Oppo Rancis. And another one of Star Wars was just Coleman Treble.
I watched that one too.
Yeah, preparation.
It's surprisingly long.
It's like a minute.
He shows up a couple times in the background of the Jedi Temple.
Yeah, I saw one of my favourite comments was it was a great character arc from Coleman Treble. Started out as a background character, then gets killed by one of the most badass bounty hunters. Yeah. Another one that was like, I hate Clone Wars. Why? No Coleman Treble. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I also watched one on Tambor Wat.
What Tambor?
Tambor Wap. Wat Tambor.
Oh no, not with this episode, with the bloody...
Not with the nut.
Yeah.
He also shows up surprisingly a lot in like the background in Geonosis.
I mean, yeah, it is the Separatist Council meeting.
It sure is. And he's like sitting at the head of the table when Anakin goes to Mustafar to kill them all.
Yeah, you don't see him kill
You don't?
You don't see him kill Coleman Treble because he didn't. Or did he?
No, he didn't. It was Jango Fett.
Net crackpot theory.
Well, so Boba Fett is Luke's mum, and Jango Fett is Luke's dad.
Whoa! And that links with gay clones, that one on the iceberg. If you haven't seen that episode, this is sounding very strange.
Go listen to it. It's 4 hours, but it's worth it.
Yeah, but moving on, I was going to say that Locke Durr, that is his name, right?
Durd.
Locke Durd, he is not a member of the Trade Federation, he is a separatist dude. Because he's got the Separatist Alliance thing, and he is...
Yeah, he dresses a bit differently.
Well, he dresses differently because he's a part of the Separatists. Like, there's a behind-the-scenes thing for the Umbara episodes. I'm not going to spoil what happens there, but you see Lucrehulks in that, and George Lucas made them retexture the Lucrehulks because Trade Federation Lucrehulks appeared in another episode earlier in Clone Wars, and George Lucas made them retexture the Lucrehulks for use in the Umbara episode in the space battle. He said because the Trade Federation and the Separatists are two very distinct things, and that's why you see the AATs. They don't look like they did in episode 1, because in episode 1 that was Trade Federation AATs, whereas the blue ones, that is Separatist AATs.
It's like those little tiny details that make bloody George Lucas
who he is.
Yeah,
for he had that much attention to the dialogue.
Yeah, for like all his faults, he's a numero uno world builder.
Yes. Even though you said he wasn't last episode, but...
I was dancing around it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No celebration scene for the victory of the Lermans.
Yeah, because it does end on a sour note.
Yeah.
Shall we just move on to our penultimate segment of the evening, or do you have something else to say before that?
No, I think penultimate segment works. So let's get up the Motto Rancisis.
We've already talked about the guy. Let's talk about the legend of Motto Rancisis.
So
for episode 13, Jedi Crash.
Indeed.
It was greed and fear of loss are the roots that lead to the tree of evil.
Whoa, that's pretty deep, bro.
Like roots.
Yeah. So there's a big tree in this episode. That's not what it's in reference to.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there is.
Yeah. I feel like this should have been the motto for episode 14 because greed and fear of loss, that feels like more of a Lock Dirt thing than anyone else.
Possibly.
And he wasn't in Jedi Crash.
But I don't think greed is necessarily in relation to Ahsoka.
Fear of loss on the other
Yeah,
hand.
I think greed is also applied because it's like the duality. So you got greed, which is self-interested, and fear of loss, which is technically still self-interested, but also projected onto someone else, isn't it? So you fear a loss of someone else. And Ahsoka feared losing Anakin and wanted to stay by her. But is that really good? Fear of is that really the root to evil?
Also, it feels like real long-winded for what it's trying to say.
Yeah, I think it sounds more like what something Yoda would say.
Yeah, but not in the Yoda voice.
No, well, there can be. I've mentioned to Voiter out of podcast that not all of Yoda's, I think less like 40% of Yoda's lines are not in his backward tense.
And that includes original trilogy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But doesn't include Clone Wars.
Because that's too much stuff to go through.
Yeah.
I saw a meme that like if you did like a marathon of like literally all on-screen Star Wars, it would take you 180 hours.
That's not that much.
It doesn't you know you can watch an episode of Clone Wars in 8 hours.
Yeah.
So it's more than you'd think.
How long do you think it will take for our podcast to amount to 100 hours?
We're not that far off, to be honest. We're more than 40 hours.
So like, oh my god.
It's going to be less than 50 episodes.
So guys, if you want to binge our podcast, it's going to take you a f***ing long time.
Yeah. But go binge the One Piece podcast that has 664 episodes, like half of them are over 3 hours.
Oh my god. But, so do you think the Tree of Evil applies to this episode in actuality?
Not hugely. Like, if this was... this is a good motto for Revenge of the Sith, actually.
Yes.
But
because that's taken to an extreme.
Yeah, and it wasn't nearly as far in this episode.
Because I don't think Ahsoka was in the wrong for wanting... As I said, I think if Ahsoka stayed with Anakin, it would have been fine.
And of course, we know, in Ahsoka's case, like, she ends up being, like, the paragon of good.
Yeah.
Ahsoka
is right.
Yeah, as we've said on 2 podcasts at this point. Or as I've said, and you've disagreed with me twice and agreed with me once.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the same episode. Like, my headcanon is that, like, the point of why Ahsoka and Ezra are still, like, out there in sequel times is so that they could, like, form, like, a new triumvirate, like a new Force paradigm.
Yeah.
Where Ahsoka is, like, the paragon of goodness, Ezra is the paragon of, not necessarily evil, but the darker side.
Is he?
He trained with Maul.
Yeah, but then he realised it was a bad idea.
Did he, though?
Yeah, because he was like, F*** Maul, I'm going to watch him get killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, well, he's still a little different.
Yeah.
And he's chilling with Thrawn for like 30 years. Who knows what's going on there?
Yeah.
And
be interesting.
And Rey, of course, because she like buried the Jedi literally, and she has the yellow lightsaber, which is like neither red nor blue or green. She's the one in the middle.
Whoa.
The Rey-do.
The Rey-do. Yeah. And I also think, like, going away from the Jedi, like, as an institution, like, Ahsoka was saying, like, how she's confused by the teachings, that the moral code that she was brought up with, because she finds it contradictory.
What was it that we talked about in the iceberg with like the Protestant?
Oh yeah, it's like how prequel era Jedi are like the Catholicism in like it's sort of it's like the hubris of it. It's like assuming this moral and divine authority.
And basically, like, kind of like the Catholic Church basically monopolized, like, God's power to themselves.
Yeah.
The Jedi monopolized the Force.
Yeah, almost, yeah. And Ahsoka was, like, saying how this is contradictory. One could say, like, religion. Sorry, hot take. So, like, how can I live with this? And then the A-list security is like, bro, you just gotta accept it. And, like, Ahsoka's, like, deep down, she's like, I don't really agree with this, but I've been raised to agree with it, and so I have to abide by it. And mate, that's got a parallel to Wag 2. That's like exactly what he says about how he was raised his entire life to not fight, even if it even to defend yourself. And then he breaks that. And what does Ahsoka do later?
Knee breaks that.
Knee breaks that too.
Why are we so obsessed with the knee brace?
Because it's friggin' cool.
Yeah, look, a little bit ago I said it ironically that bloody Dave Filoni planned this, but like, I'm starting to drink my own Kool-Aid here.
Yeah, what on Air-Deraan blood, sweat, Kool-Aid.
Yeah, that one. Blood, sweat, and Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel like he was actually sowing the seeds there. Like, I don't want to believe it, but like, it's there.
I can imagine. Well, no, they must have, in order to introduce Ahsoka as a character, they must have had an exit plan. You know, like when Ahsoka was announced, and then I watched the movie when I was 8 years old. I was looking at my watch, waiting for her to die. Waiting for her to die. Sorry, whoops. I was also waiting for Rex to die too.
Yikes! Because he wasn't.
He wasn't in Revenge of the Sith. So I was like, when's he gonna die?
No, I meant like he isn't the red guy from Tartakovsky's Clone
Wars. Oh yeah, Fordo was my man, but not Rex. I didn't like him, even though I like Rex
on
now.
you. He survived until episode 6 at least.
And he was in episode 6.
That is canon.
That is the hill I'm going to die on.
I'm sorry, Reddit guy whose waifu is Nick Santo or whatever.
Nick Sant, yeah, named after Saint Nicholas.
Because he has a white beard. That's fucking stupid. It's not canon.
Yeah, it's from a 2013 card game.
Yeah, even if that was released under Disney, it was before the canon was wiped. So
yeah, so it was wiped. Anyway, I think they must have known how Ahsoka was going to leave the Skywalker saga when they created her. I think they must have decided that she was going to be forced out of or leave the Jedi on some ideological grounds.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have known. Well, they definitely didn't know that spoilers was going to spoilers her in a spoilers that spoiled her.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Ironically.
Yeah. But I feel like they must have known the general thing. You know, like how Game of Thrones, the people behind that, they knew, like the end of the show, they knew the end, how the show was going to end from George R.R. Martin. I almost said George Lucas.
The same person.
They knew how both big, fat, jolly with big beards. Well, not big beard, but yeah, so same person. They knew how the books were going to end. They just didn't know how they were going to get there. So instead of being creative and figuring out, they just went from A to C rather than going to B. But like the point is that they already, they know the end goal. George R.R. Martin knows his end goal.
Dave Filoni knew his end goal.
He did. He might not. I don't think he went past Clone Wars.
Yeah. Well, he knew the end goal of Clone Wars, probably.
Yes.
He didn't know that she's gonna meet this Mando guy with this little green boy.
I guarantee they don't know the end goal now. I don't think they know the end goal now because they haven't really seeded it properly. That's a Bazinga moment.
Indeed. They didn't know that Ahsoka is one day going to explore the Sith Temple beneath the Coruscant, the one with bloody Oppo Rancises.
Oh, mate, that's my dream episode 10.
It was going to happen.
Oh yeah, that was going to happen in one of the cancelled arcs.
Yeah, they were going to do that, and there is a model that I showed you of Oppo Rancisis.
With a lightsaber.
With a lightsaber and unfurled tail.
Oh, he's so long!
He's doing a T-pose. Well, he's doing a T-pose, but he's doing more of a J.R.R. Tolkien signature pose because he has 6 arms. So he has four arms. So,
Oppo Rancisis has 4 arms?
Yeah, 2 of them are hidden in his thing.
No, that's Yarl Poof.
They both have 4 arms.
Are you actually fucking kidding me?
I am actually being real.
Are you actually fucking kidding? I'm going back on our chat to look at Oppo Rancisis.
Oppo Rancisis has 4 arms.
No fucking way. If he actually does, I'm just... I can't see them. I only see 2 arms. Oh my fucking god! Jesus Christ. What the fuck is this?
It's Oppo Rancisis.
Oh, that is actually cursed. That he's got 2 arms down on his side. He is, and it looks like a big T because of the. It looks like a capitalized Times New Roman T. What the fuck? I can't believe Oppo Rancisis has 4 arms, and also that means these Yarl Poof and Oppo Rancisis, who were around in the High Republic, they both have 4 arms.
They're both certified long boys.
Does that mean they both survived Order 66? If Oppo Rancisis survived Order 66, did Yarl Poof survive Order 66?
We have no confirmation that he didn't.
Yeah. Yarl Poof in Jedi Fallen Order 2.
I would love that, actually.
Oh, imagine trying to animate Oppo Rancisis and not have it be like a joke. Like, I mean, honestly, can you imagine Oppo Rancisis?
There is a 4-armed person in Fallen Order. Did you forget the pilot?
Huh? Yeah, no, I mean his long neck.
Oh, that.
Yeah, can you imagine Yarl Poof, like, not being...
No.
Oh, but his big smile as well. Did you have invigilators for exams? Like... this is gonna link back.
I've had like 2 exams. Yeah, there were people there.
In like secondary school and sixth form, we had an invigilator. They were all volunteers, and one of the invigilators was colloquially known as. I'm sure everyone who knows me and is from my old school will know this man. He was known as Long Neck, and he looked like Yarl Poof. He had his smile as well. It was like it almost dead inside, and he had a very long neck.
Let me Google this guy called Daddy Longleg.
Daddy Longleg?
Long Neck.
Who's Daddy Longneck?
They call him Daddy, but he's like 20 maybe. He's just this guy with a really long neck.
God.
He's a music artist.
Well, that's not the same as the Invigilator.
I don't think he's even 20. He's probably even younger.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty long neck.
Yeah, that's a human Yarl Poof.
Human Yarl Poof indeed. There was also... Oh my god, that's actually really long.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. Have you seen how they did Yarl Poof in Lego form?
No.
They have like those cylindrical the cylindrical blocks. They have multiple of those. They have like 3 of those, and then the head on top. And then in the cutscene thing, he's got his head like swaying side to side because it's so long.
You would probably have to do something like that to animate him. Like, what else can you do?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of funny though.
It would be weird if his neck was just super stiff.
Whoa. Yeah, this episode is already kind of a bit cussed.
Yeah. This is like bloody the Spunk Stone Awakens.
Oh god, starring Yarl Poof and Oppo Rancisis being nutted on.
Come on!
Okay, now next on Motto Rancisis is when surrounded by a war.
Oh, yeah, that's what we're doing.
We're doing a podcast. When surrounded by war, one must eventually choose a side.
Yes.
So the Lerman had to choose a side, well, sort of, but it was technically to their detriment. I don't think it's necessarily saying it's always going to be for your benefit.
No. And it's not necessarily also saying, like, if you don't side against the aggressor, if you're being neutral, you kind of side with the aggressor.
Yeah, I think it's like if you, I don't know, like
Like, not choosing a side is choosing a side.
Yeah, so like how you got... this isn't applicable to this episode, but it is applicable to the motto. So, like, you've got... you got a load of people saying, like, oh, like, only, like, 1 out of 10 policemen are, like, bad. And it's like, yeah, but those other 9 policemen aren't doing anything about it. Mm-hmm. So, in fact, you've actually just got 10 bad policemen.
Yeah.
And, like, that's sort of this, like, in not doing anything, you are actually condoning it with your inaction. But what I think is more applicable to this is, this was said by Molly in Star Wars Explains
Q&A.
Video on Defenders of Peace, and that's like with an analogy of like seeing a kid being bullied. If you like don't do anything, if you don't intervene or don't like tell anyone about it, like even though, as she said, like, I'll make you a quote unquote tattletale, that is not good. It's better to do something about it and help the kid being bullied.
100%.
So you should choose a side. And if you're not helping the kid being bullied, then you are sort of siding against him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that is more applicable to this episode, because in that case, the bullied kid is the Lermans. And so they're not the ones being privilege checked by the motto for not choosing a side, because they are meant to be the neutral ones. So I don't think like they're being told off for trying to be neutral. I think like the episode does say that like WAG 2 is right in trying to defend themselves. So it's also taking a stance against like, if like those schools that are like what is if the bullied kid stands up against the bully, he also gets a detention.
That's just wrong.
It's wrong. I think that's wrong. It's complete bullshit, but it does happen. And this motto and the moral of this episode is saying that's also wrong, because it's the right thing to do to stand up for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah.
But they do, and they manage to do that without saying like non-violence is bad.
They did this. Yeah, because WAG 2 defended himself whilst also not being violent.
Yeah, and Ayla Secura does say like, no, they're actually not completely wrong.
Yeah, it's like it takes a strong person to uphold their beliefs that much. And I think thumbs up, Ayla Secura, even though you said some not cool things earlier this episode.
And you were probably shitty to your clones.
Or
not your clones.
Or not shitty. It's confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see eventually.
Eventually, when she gets shot in our 30th anniversary of Return of Revenge of the Sith.
Yep.
Imagine if it is the 30th anniversary.
It will be in 14 years.
Oh, it's probably maybe the 15th anniversary.
I feel like they might stick to the 20th.
We could do...
Because 15th anniversary... Oh no, I thought you were talking about a bloody certain point of view.
No, it's already been the 15th anniversary, so it has to be the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith.
And it's already been the 20th anniversary of Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Quite a while ago.
2 years ago.
Oh...
No. Last year.
Yeah.
No, 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Oh,
2019.
God, it's 2021. We're almost dead.
Yeah, as we've established, we are pushing 70.
Oh my God.
That's almost 100 years old.
I am 20, pushing on 70. That film starring Max von Sydow, who is Lord Santeca.
That's some deep lore.
No. That's just a reference. Max von Sydow, though, played Ming the Merciless in the Flash Gordon film.
Yikes. Fun fact, though, the village that he was...
What that Lord Santeca was from?
Not from, he was hiding
lived
there.
in, yeah.
Is on the same page as the Lerman hideout in my bloody visual encyclopedia.
Wow, that's pretty visual.
Yeah. It's also...
Why did they choose the Lerman planet of all places to include? There's limited space.
It's there a couple times. Like, there's the pod just on the next page.
Yeah.
And Maridun It's the very first planet they show off.
Serious?
Not the very first planet they show off. Full stop. That's Ryloth. No, that's Hosnian Prime.
Oh, spicy.
Yeah, the Hosnian Prime, Coruscant, Alderaan, and Deveron, Onderon.
Oh.
And bloody Kazook is there too, and Ord Mantell.
Kazook is how you pronounce Kashyyyk.
That's canon.
No, it's not. It's Legends.
It's in the holiday special. What am I looking for?
You're looking for
verdant, temperate climate, verdant planets. The first one is Meridan.
Yeah, but it has got temperate climate.
Yeah, and there's also Scarif, Dakar, Dathomir, Raxus, and Yavin 4.
Raxus is in Raxus, the planet with the Separatist Parliament, right?
I guess.
Yeah, not Raxus Prime. That was in Force Unleashed. That is a junk planet.
Refugees like the Lurmen of Meridan flee there to make peaceful new lives.
Refugees?
Away from watchful eyes.
I didn't think they were refugees.
Well, they fled from war.
I guess, but they didn't call themselves. He said he...
they said they colonized the planet.
Tiwaka said he colonized, yeah.
But they are described as immigrants on the Wikipedia.
Yeah, but that's just how they word that stuff. Here. They word immigrant species on Wikipedia is in reference to any species that lives there that is not originally from there.
And refugees also, I think, were Anakin and Padme left Coruscant with refugees, didn't they?
What? When?
In episode 2.
Was that refugees? I just thought that was.
They used the word for refugees in Czech.
I don't remember the refugees being mentioned in Attack of the Clones.
Well, let Jamie pull it up.
God damn it! That guy.
It's entirely possible.
Ah!
Are you making Tim Allen noises?
I don't know what Tim Allen sounds like apart from when he killed Father Christmas.
Santa Claus. Same thing, but yes.
I don't care. Nick Sant. When he killed Captain Rex. That's deep lore. When Tim Allen killed... That's how Captain Rex dies. It's canon. I'm going to put that in the thumbnail.
Yeah. No. Our canon Santa Claus is Santa Claude.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he killed both.
And Claude is in canon Luke. Well, in our canon.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that he can also be Rex. Then again, his mom is Boba Fett and his dad is Jango Fett.
So it could be Rex.
That
makes sense. Oh my god, this is deep lore. Fucking hell.
What was I talking about?
We had talked about the morality of pacifism. And then we moved on to Tim Allen killing Captain Rex.
So the motto is pretty good.
Yeah, the motto is pretty good. So war bad, but also defending yourself is fine.
Yeah, and standing up for your beliefs is also good.
Yes, apart from when they're oppressive.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Looking at you, coward of Gina Carano.
Yeah, not all beliefs are good. Like,
yes.
Yeah, if you believe in freedoms, that's good. If you believe that people should be enslaved... That's not good. If you believe that women are second-class citizens...
That's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. If you believe that trans women aren't women, you're fucking awful.
Yes. And as always, when we drop very, very big truths like this, I'm not bleeping it.
Oh, whoa. Yeah. This is just another fuck you, J.K. Rowling. That's another unbleeped one.
Let's not go too far though.
Yeah. Because if I said if I said a B word, that's gonna get bleeped.
If you believe that bullshit jokes are funny, you're wrong.
I am wrong.
I am gonna bleep that though.
Good. Should we move on to our final segment? Light side, dark side, and the one in the middle, the Bendu.
Bendu is not the bleep word.
No.
The B word.
No, it's another B word that came out in 2007.
Yes.
So, what is your light side, Vulture Lion?
Ooh, thank you. Even though I said that this arc didn't blow me away, there is a lot to choose from.
I agree.
But if I had to give it to one thing, I'm going to say, and it's a hard decision.
Oh, that's fitting for this episode.
Stop.
Sorry.
I think I will give a slight edge to the scene where they're trying to avoid crashing into the sun.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because even though the action set piece at the very beginning was very cool.
Pretty cool even.
We get a lot of action like that quite a lot. This was quite unique. Like, I kind of forgot that it happened, that it was in the show.
Yeah, me too.
But it was like very cool, like how they're flying around the ship because their artificial gravity is off. And they're holding their breath in, and they're trying to like turn the power back on. Meanwhile, Anakin is freaking dying in the med bay.
Yeah.
And the droid's like eyes automatically light up.
It's really cool scene. I like it.
It's a cool scene. It's cool moody lighting, which after bloody Rise of Malevolence, Rising Malevolence, whatever, Rising Malevolence.
Yeah.
I found out is like the best thing. That's what makes Clone Wars look really good.
The lighting.
Yeah,
I agree.
And that scene had a lot of it.
Yeah, to all the people are saying... I would say a majority, like 90% of people, if not even more, say that Season 1 of Clone Wars looks like shit. And I'm just like... Now I'm thinking, like, have you seen it? And I'm also thinking, like... Season 1 has not disappointed me so far.
No.
And we're almost done. Next episode is fucking Trespass. This is amazing.
Yeah, like, there is still Blue Shadow virus.
Yeah,
like,
which I remember not liking.
But we could be wrong.
If I'm wrong,
It
we
has Iago in it.
Yeah, we were wrong about fucking Bombad Jedi. We were wrong about Gungan General. We were wrong about Defenders of Peace.
We were wrong about Downfall of a Droid.
Yeah, oh my god. It's like, honestly, if Blue Shadow Virus turns out to be incredible, I'm not actually going to be surprised anymore.
Even if it's just okay.
Yeah, even if it's just okay. Like, I mean, honestly, because the episodes that we have left, bar Blue Shadow Virus, I know are bangers. So, like, honestly, Season 1 is not shit. Anyone saying it is, you're actually wrong.
I think that the only reason why people might still think that it's bad is because they watch it in like 360p on like a pirate site.
Or on a CRTV when it came out.
Because like I saw a little clip of Star Wars The Clone Wars the movie, which was like really low quality, and it looks terrible.
Yeah,
but when you see it in like high res, it's incredible.
Yeah, Season 1 on Disney Plus looks really good. Apart from like some things in the droid arc kind of look a bit weird, which we found out was the first arc to be made by the Clone Wars team. So that sort of explains why things look a bit weird.
Yeah, and the latter half of the film was a little rushed.
Yes, yeah, hence why it wasn't... I think the film is the worst thing so far.
Yeah, I don't like... I feel like Ambush was a bit of a disappointment.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that's true. That's true. But I think the second half of the Clone Wars movie, after they leave Teth and the stuff on Tatooine, I think that is worse than Ambush.
Yeah, it's pretty weak. If the film was the 4 episodes, or 3 or 4 episodes that was originally meant to be, it would probably have the worst episode in it.
Yeah.
Which
I know
is
what you mean,
the Tatooine stuff.
Yeah, as we said, it would be better as an arc.
I think that we said that it is better as a movie.
Do we?
Well, the action was allowed to have like more
space.
Yes.
We said it was better as a movie, but like in the act of the episodic structure, is pretty visible, and I don't know.
It would be.
It's like
if they were allowed to do like what Mandalorian does, like take as much time as it needs.
Yeah.
As opposed to just doing it 20 minutes.
Yeah, and also like I think we said, if it was an arc, it probably wouldn't be seen as terrible.
Yes, but also some of our favorite things in it wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if it in its current state, if it was cut at the points that where it's quite clearly the end of an episode.
It wouldn't be by far the lowest rated Star Wars film.
Yeah, because people quite happily view an episode in an arc that is a dud episode. That arc can still be fine. But obviously, if the third act of a movie is pretty shit, then obviously the movie's going to suffer more.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying it was shit in Clone Wars, but
yeah,
it was just
fine.
It was fine.
We both enjoyed.
Yeah, I enjoyed it far more than, and I enjoyed Defenders of Peace and Jedi Crash.
Yes, quite a lot.
Which is what we're talking about. And
That being said, what did you enjoy the most?
My light side is you said you didn't want to choose the set piece at the start, but I kind of do, because that was just it had the amazing painted sky, it had the high stakes, it had lots of stuff going on visually, and it just felt really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, I loved having the LAATs landing, like being sent from Anakin's Venator.
It had the flying super battle droids.
Yeah.
Even though it was a little strange that they flew through the laser fire.
Yeah, and they took out, they cracked this cockpit of the navigator of the LAAT, and then he had to jump out and be caught by Rex and pulled back into the LAAT, and so they saved him. But then the LAAT crashed into a hole, and the other pilot died.
Yes, but everyone else who was in that crashing ship was completely fine.
Literally everybody died. Think about it. Every single clone you saw on that LAAT, every single clone that they rescued on the Venator, they die.
You're forgetting that Ahsoka and Rex were in that LAAT.
No, I mean apart from Ahsoka, Rex, Anakin, Bly, and Ayla Secura, apart from them, everyone else on all three Venators and on the 2 LAATs that they sent to rescue Ayla Secura, they all died.
It's true, actually.
And on the consular class
even the ones that Anakin yeeted into the thing to rescue them, they just died on this. Yeah, Lucky Cameron?
Cameron and
the
Flesh. The Flesh. Yeah.
Ironically named because he was eaten like a piece of flesh that he was.
Yeah, they probably had a joke.
Probably.
But yeah, I thought that scene was very strong opening. I remember it being very good from when it came out. I remember watching Jedi Crash for the first time actually, back when it came out. And yeah, it's actually better than I remembered.
Yeah. And speaking of Anakin being possibly more heroic than he should be, that scene where he yeets everyone, where he almost sacrifices himself to save everyone and try to hold off the explosion.
That was really cool.
That's some primo stuff. That's some High Republic Jedi level things.
That's basically what Kanan does, and he died.
That is almost literally what he does.
Yeah, except Anakin shut the door as well.
Yes.
On both sides. Didn't he? So that's why he survived, whereas Kanan blew up.
But there was no door to shut. He was standing on top of a fuel thing.
And he blew up, 3 fuel cells.
Yeah.
And they weren't, tiny, they were huge ones, so he had no chance.
No.
Whereas Anakin, he did survive, and he killed kids later. And before.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And during.
Yeah. What?
No.
Ah!
I didn't... What did you get from that? I was just making a dumb joke.
Oh, I thought we were making a thing about, I'm not going to get into the holding hands thing yet, again, but...
I don't think he held hands with Ayla Secura.
I mean, because it takes twice as long. But it doesn't matter. Hell. Anyway, what is your dark side? Except my terrible jokes about the pods.
Yeah, those would kind of do it. But my dark side is kind of in the middle of your light side. I thought that the LAAT crashing into the ship and almost everyone who was on it surviving and there being no explosion and everyone just acting as if they just parked and got out of the car. That was what on earth just happened? You literally fell a kilometer in a ship and you completely fell.
What, Anakin?
No, Anakin jumped out and he was jumping from droid to droid.
Yeah.
Rex,
No,
the other people on that LAAT.
I think that was fine. Because they didn't crash into it from that high.
Yes, they did.
No, but it wasn't from... It was from a position where... like, they were holding the bar things.
That's not gonna help
Look,
you.
I know, but...
If a bus that goes 50 miles... That goes, like, 40 miles an hour, 30... If that crashes and you're holding on to a thing, that's gonna do nothing.
Yeah, but are they badasses?
Yes.
Okay.
But they fell in a dropship.
What?
I guess that's the key. It's a dropship. That's what it's meant to do. I retract my dark side.
Well, that's, yeah. And Rex can't die yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't know.
Huh? No, I mean, he can't be killed by this kind of mortal, thing.
True, he's too badass.
No, he has to be killed by Tim Allen.
Oh, yes.
That's
I forgot.
That's canon.
In that case, my dark side would be...
You can't have that as your dark.
I can't have that as... My dark side is that I couldn't have that as my dark side.
Ew.
Because I'm bloody salty about it. And I'm going to make an angry Reddit post.
Yeah. My dark side might be... I don't know, actually. There wasn't things I despised. Maybe the Lerman having, I think it was meant to be Irish accents, was kind of a bit weird. And I think that it's sort of like, it wasn't actual Irish accents. So it sounded a bit fake Irish. Like when you watch like American stuff, when they do these, when they pull accents and they never sound genuine.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like, because that's what it was.
I don't know if it was meant to be Irish, but
It
you
can
just assume that fake Irish is the real Lerman accent.
Yeah, oh, that's true, I guess. But it just sounded a bit strange, but fine. What should my dark side be?
You can keep that as your dark side.
I'll also put, I did think it was a bit weird that Wag 2 bound up that lion, that vulture lion, and just left him.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like in bloody Doctor Who, where the Doctor is like, no, don't shoot the spiders, we have to be merciful to them.
Oh, yeah.
Let's just shut them in this room with no air, food, or water and let them die by themselves.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris Chibnall. Buddy, give Jodie Whittaker a better script.
Oh, no, he's season 3 done by Chris Chibnall, and he's probably going to have another Doctor.
I really would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Why, though?
I know.
Who likes him that much?
I don't know.
Granted, like, the Woman Who Fell to Earth did have like 10 million views, but that dropped off very quickly.
It did, yeah, because...
Which is like the most views a Doctor Who episode ever had.
Yeah.
Ever dad.
Ever dad, whoa.
Ever did or had.
Yeah. Ah, God. Oh, well. But, apart from things that aren't making us angry, and things that aren't making us feel elated, what is your one in the middle, the Bendu?
My one in the middle,
The Bendu,
would probably be like, friggin', I don't want to get sappy, but like, kind of the fact that,
I thought you were going to talk about Ayla Secur's midriff.
You know what? Fine. Like,
no, what were you gonna say?
I'm not gonna tell you, but like,
no.
After there was so much focus on Asajj Ventress's butt and bust in like the movie, now like the weirdly sculpted midriff of Ayla Secura. That's like, why did they put so much care into it when literally everyone else's is just like a tube? Why does she have so much texture?
I don't know. People like Ayla Secura.
I guess, but people also like Padme.
Yeah.
People shouldn't like
But
Ahsoka, but they do.
But Padme didn't get her a top torn by the Nexu in Clone Wars, like she did in Attack of the Clones.
Didn't she have... I don't care. I just,
What was your sappy thing?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Why?
Because you derailed me.
I'm actually so sorry.
Fine.
I actually feel bad.
I was going to give my one in the middle the Bendu, not as like it's not great, but it's not also, it's more like a mystical thing.
Whoa.
It's not mystical, but like just the fact that we can be here, and talk about nonsense and Tim Allen killing
Captain
Rex, who is also Santa Claus,
Yeah.
for 2 hours and 37 minutes plus.
That's pretty long.
Or 3 hours and 42 minutes.
Yeah,
I just feel that's like almost a religious experience for me at this point.
I mean,
it's the best thing I've ever done, I feel.
Whoa, that's pretty...
It's filling with so much joy.
So much joy.
Yeah.
This brings joy.
This sparks joy. Marie Kondo would look at Air-Deraan and be like, it's a bad podcast, but you can keep it.
Will it be, this does spark joy, or this does not spark joy?
This doesn't spark joy.
That you combined the meme with Obi-Wan Kenobi. That has ascended it, almost like our minds after the iceberg.
Our minds are now Force ghosts.
I do want to mention on the podcast, because I told Voita earlier, but after the iceberg episode, that night I was like dreaming of it. I dreamt that there were more layers that were like getting to deeper lore and theories, and I was like, oh my god, even more, and it was crazy, and I woke up in a cold sweat.
Wow.
So
damn, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's probably a sign that we should stop doing it.
No.
Kind of like I had a dream about Cara Dune, not Cara Dune, what's her real name?
Gina
Carano and Sacha Baron Cohen, and that's what tipped me off that maybe you should stop making Borat jokes.
Yeah, that would be wise.
That's probably a sign for you that we should stop making iceberg episodes.
No, we only make one.
It's a lightning in a bottle. If we do it again, it's probably not going to be as good.
I don't think iceberg, but I like the deep lore stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think it's entertaining enough for like bonus stuff.
Boner stuff.
The giant pods.
We could generate random things from this and try.
I reckon. I had an idea.
The visual dictionary, by the way.
I had an idea of an episode where we got to find like a game sort of episode where we got to find the strangest Wikipedia articles and the strangest theories, things like that we can find.
I'm all for that because there's so much weird stuff on the Wikipedia.
There's a lot of weird stuff.
For example, did you know Admiral Motti or General Motti or whatever?
Yeah,
you know who we talked about yesterday, that he's actually named after Conan O'Brien of all people.
Yeah, it's a Stu John scenario.
Yeah. When George Lucas was on an episode of Conan O'Brien's show, whatever it's called, he was like...
Probably the Conan O'Brien show.
Whatever. He was like, I bet you don't know what this guy's name is. And George Lucas, like, even without blinking, because it was probably scripted, he was like, his name is Conan Antonio Motti.
God damn it.
And apparently, like, Wikipedia updated within 5 minutes of that episode airing.
Serious?
Yeah, because
Jesus.
like Conan, like the next day after he published like a blog or something, it was like, guys, you're such mad lads. He didn't say mad lads, he's not British. You guys, like, the speed at which you operate is stunning.
Yeah, that's weird, but I'm not sure if I don't really like that. I just like how I still don't like how Obi-Wan Kenobi's homeworld is in canon still Stu John.
Yeah, I really don't like that.
I guess it's because it is G-canon, and G-canon is still canon.
By the way, you know who made General Motti canon?
What? But he's in...
his Conan Antonio name.
Dr. Afra?
James Luceno.
James Luceno in Tarkin?
Mm-hmm.
Mate, as we said last episode, well, actually 2 episodes ago, James Luceno loves adding details from Legends. Well, not from Legends, but like Darth Plagueis is like an ode to all of like the Star Wars lore source books and like all of these obscure comics and random books and stuff. And James Luceno would just like eat it all up and just like, you know, write it in his book. And then when he wrote Tarkin, he made it his mission to like canonize as much as he can, basically.
As much as he can get away with.
And he got away with a lot.
Yeah. And I love it.
I want James Luceno to be able to write more. And I'm a bit sad that James Luceno isn't on like the top Star Wars book writers thing, because people like James Luceno and Kevin J. Anderson and Timothy Zahn, they're rearing to write more Star Wars books.
Well, Zahn is writing.
Yeah, they want to write more Star Wars.
He's writing a second Throne trilogy.
No, but I mean
third, technically.
I mean, like Zahn wants to be able to write
like more important things.
Present Thrawn rather than prequel Thrawn.
Like no disrespect to Charles Soule, like he's fantastic, but that kind of should be like the kind of position that Timothy Zahn is in.
Yeah, because Timothy Zahn hasn't been able to write anything consequential.
No.
Like, has he? And James Luceno wrote a Tarkin Origins, like not Origin, but like.
Well, that is what it is.
Yeah, and Kevin J. Anderson, who wrote the X-Wing books, he hasn't written anything for new canon. So it's just a bit sad.
Yeah.
I would want more inclusion of that stuff.
Indeed.
Yeah. I guess I should say my one in the middle, the Bendu.
I'm sorry, I forgot about that.
And this actually does tie in with the canonization or the use of expanded universe stuff, and that is just, I like how the Lermans roll. Because that links to the Amanin, that, it's cool seeing Amani roll in the Crystal Crisis, and we know the Amani roll because of that Star Wars Empire comic, To the Last Man, which is expanded universe stuff. So that means even if they were going to use Amanin and not Lerman in the early drafts of this episode, that means they still looked at the expanded universe in order to get the rollies, their hula hoopness.
Yeah. Into
the thing, and that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, but speak of Amanin, they were going to try again to bring them in on Utapau in Crystal Crisis.
Yeah,
they are in the reels,
and that is canon.
That is canon.
The Crystal Crisis is canon.
Yeah, it's not. It didn't happen in the show, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. They just haven't written it properly yet.
No, they have written. It's fully voice acted.
Well, yeah, but so was the original Bad Batch.
Yeah, and they only changed.
They did change things.
They did change things, yeah, but
meaning it's no longer canon.
Yeah,
because there's an updated version of it.
Yeah, but there's no updated version of Crystal Crisis. So Crystal Crisis in its present form is canon,
as far as we know.
Yeah.
Same with probably the duel between Cad Bane and Boba Fett.
Spoilers. I think that's assumed canon, but it might be done in a different way. It might be in Bad Batch.
I feel like Crystal Crisis has to be on the same level as that. Because it exists in basically the same form.
It's canon unless it's overridden.
Yes.
That's the form it's in.
But that's like most canon, most things.
No, it's not the same as like with Legends though. Like, I don't know. It's the same as source books and like encyclopedias and visual dictionaries. Like how visual dictionaries had said about Poe's backstory, and J.J. Abrams was like, fuck that. He was actually, like how he's from Guatemala. Yeah, he used to be a drug smuggler. It's like, well done, J.J. Abrams, just overridden the source books. But that's the same sort of limbo canon that the reels are in. Like, they are canon unless they're not.
Yeah.
Which sort of sounds weird, but yeah. So like the Yamanin canonically do have a colony on Utapau, and at the moment, canonically, Anakin and everyone did go on a mission to Utapau
to retrieve that big crystal.
Yeah, which in Legends was on Maikito.
What if it's the same crystal? And they moved it from Maikito to Utapau.
Oh, that's crazy.
To Utapau 4.
Utapau, yeah, the fourth moon of Utapau, where Anakin Starkiller lived. Yeah, so that's a really good nod. If you're a true fan and you stuck around to probably the 2.5 hour mark.
Speaking of nods to true fans, this is a thing that I forgot to mention in Spunkstone, so I could have just not said it that way. But you know that big slug monster that Jar Jar befriends?
Yeah.
That was originally drawn by Ralph McQuarrie as a monster that would live on Dagobah.
On Dagobah?
Yeah, on Daegu.
There you go. Well, I hope you're not going to escape
with
from that.
Owen Wilson.
With Colin Wilson, yeah.
Wilson. Who's Colin
Owen
Wilson?
Wilson. That's in. Dave Filoni used as Clone Wars and Rebels especially used a lot of Ralph McQuarrie concept art. For
Sequels did too. Remember that big gate on Jakku?
Yeah, that's from Ralph McQuarrie concept art for Mos Eisley. But Rebels especially.
Oh yeah. Like every time you see like a road on Lothal, that's a
Ralph McQuarrie image.
Yeah.
And it's like the thin lightsabers is a Ralph McQuarrie thing. So that's why that's in Star Wars Rebels. A lot of people really hate thin lightsabers.
They look a bit weird.
I don't mind them. It's style.
Yeah, like when you watch the whole thing and you don't watch it, we're like, what is this? Like when you get used to it and you like the show, you start thinking that thick lightsabers look weird.
Yeah, I prefer how they looked in the prequels and the original trilogy to how they look in the sequel trilogy, because at the moment it's like baseball bats.
I'm not sure what you mean. Like
they're
thicker. Too thick?
Yeah, I think they're too thick because when they film, there's a physical lightsaber light. It's like a fluorescent light now.
Yeah, they probably make more light than ever.
Yeah,
which is probably because like the light isn't all like post processed.
Yeah, it's real light shining from the lightsabers, but because it has to be an actual fluorescent tube, it can't be like thin enough. So it's just a little too wide for me.
I mean, Kylo's is pretty thin.
Yeah,
but it's like wispy.
That's wispy, so you can't really see it. Whereas if you look at Ahsoka's lightsaber, that is like a club. It is.
I mean, light whips are canon again. Why not light clubs? Yeah, they canonized them in I think one of the children's High Republic book.
That's like like with Lumaya and stuff from Marvel Comics.
The old ones.
Yeah, the very old ones.
Like Jax.
Oh yeah.
The green the green boy.
Yeah, the Green Rabbit boy. He was canon.
He's canon again. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the Black Series in the Black Series figure of him, he appears more like scaly than furry.
Interesting.
So that's possibly his
kink.
So it seems like his live action appearance is actually less furry.
There's no live action appearance of him.
No, because like the Black Series figures are like the live action depictions, aren't they?
Fair enough.
Even though, spoiler alert, well not spoilers at all. I don't think Black Series figures look good. I think they look pretty shit. Like people like go, oh my god, praise be! I have my collections of Star Wars toys, in your plastic tubs, and you pour it over your head while f***ing an R5 toy. Sorry.
Us with our Red Letter Media references.
Yeah, but I don't think they just like kind of silly, like with obvious articulation. I like it when it's more subtle, and it looks.
You prefer statues to action figures?
Probably, yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I don't know. All the have you seen the Bandai Stormtroopers?
No.
They look cool because you can't see the joints.
And I feel like it's much easier with armor than it is with like.
Yeah, but they're like they've got a skeleton sort of thing, like and then you like build upon it. It's sort of like a Bionicle. Like a Bionicle, yeah. But like more detailed. Missing Bionicle.
Come back. Like Hero Factory.
No, well, actually, Hero Factory does use the skeleton system, which is CCBS, which the Gen 2 of Bionicle also used. I'm not the biggest fan of CCBS, if I'm being honest, but
Jackson. Back to Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson. Duxon? Oh my god, it's got an X in it as well. Oh my god, is Jackson from Duxon?
He might well be.
Jackson from Onderon.
Wow, I mean, humans live there, but why not?
Yeah, I wonder if there's any Lerman on Onderon. Lerman in Saw Gerrera's Partisans.
Oh my
Imagine
god.
if we just saw in Rogue One like a friggin' lemur with a gun.
They did have like small roly boys, but not like one of these.
Yeah, no King
What if the guy who goes like is like just a fat lemur?
That's Pow. He was in the Rebels. He was one of the Rebels. He wasn't in Saw Gerrera's Partisans.
Never mind that.
So fake fan. Gosh dang it.
And I claim that Rogue One is like my favorite Disney Star Wars movie.
Yeah, and if you guys have caught out more of us being a fake fan, be sure to tweet it at us at on Air-Deraan, all one word, or email it to us.
Or comment below our videos. We read them.
Oh, yeah.
I've read literally every comment, every posted.
Every single comment has been read by us. And we guarantee it. Every comment for the foreseeable future will be liked by us, unless it's not cool.
Yeah, unless it's like that quote that's on every Star Wars video.
Oh yeah, then you actually get banned from the channel. But if you're not one of those scumbags, then you're welcome to comment, and we will respond, and we will read your comments, because we appreciate people who follow us and subscribe to us and interact. At on Air-Deraan, all one word, or on YouTube on Air-Deraan.
On space Air-Deraan.
Or check us out on Spotify and Podbean if you're not already.
We're on Castbox as well, I think.
And Pocket Casts.
And Anchor, not Anchor.
I have loads of other ones, but not
Spotify.
Not Spotted Slugs.
No, Spotted Slugs isn't on Spotify either.
That's shame.
Only thing we're not on is iTunes, because we don't have any Apple products.
Yeah, so...
We are pairs for life, like Anakin and Padme.
Yeah, cutting them pairs in the room for...
that was a completely separate
room.
room.
That's the dinner scene, yeah.
They were cutting different things in that room.
Yeah, cutting the tension.
Yeah, cutting this segment short.
No, yeah.
Cutting this out more like...
Wait!
I'm
bringing it back. We die now.
That was meant to be an air horn, but instead it sounded more like a Krayt dragon.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh, a terrible impression of a Krayt dragon.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact it would be like...
For a second, I thought you were going to be doing the 20th Century Fox thing. No, that was beautiful.
What about... No, wait, I was going for the Tusken theme from Mandalorian, but instead it's bloody Ruby, Ruby, Ruby.
Oh my god. Well,
how does the Tusken theme
I don't
go?
know, it just sounds like Arabian Nights, doesn't it?
Yeah, but this is Is the Tusken theme just bloody Kaiser Chiefs?
I don't know what that is.
Ruby, 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 Ruby.
Oh, yeah. Basically.
Hang on, I need to look this up. The conclusion is it's inconclusive.
I no opinion. Either way, if your kazoo was good enough, we'll get copyright striked in the form of some...
Yeah. Basically, just to recapitulate, if you listen to it yourself, listen to Ruby, Ruby, Ruby by Kaiser Chiefs, and to the Mandalorian Tusken theme, and tweet us with your opinions.
Is it the same?
Not necessarily melody, but the rhythm is very similar.
Yeah. Do we deserve a platform?
Don't try it.
Don't try it.
Don't jinx it, or we will be deplatformed by like
a Death Star or something.
Nah, that would be too ridiculous.
Yeah, when would that ever happen?
You may fire when ready.